Old.
Okay.
Fair.
Let's see. You owe me $26.
Alrighty.
Rise, Dan.
Two, 6. Ike. That's gonna confuse me in like a day or two. Hello. Because the message I sent you is Ikes, but I didn't put a space. So it's just
Bikes.
Yeah. Bikes.
Bikes.
Good evening.
Okay, I got my thing to work. I thought for some reason I thought it was in like an hour, but no. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Audio settings just messing with it.
Oh, neat.
I had so little sleep recently.
I am running on 4 hours, so you know I feel that. I'm worried you're doing less.
No. Today is the fine day. It was all the previous days that were not as good.
Oh no! Oh no!
It was. What I'm saying is I got my first sleep last night, which is great.
Congrats!
Thank you. It had been 38 hours since I had slept.
What the fuck? You and fucking Chi, why?
I don't know. The reason because I do know why is because I had a really long night. You know, I stayed up and I did all my things, and then
you had D&D. Yep.
I was super tired, you know, because at the end of D&D, and I was playing, and then at the end of D&D, it's like great, I get to finally sleep, hooray!
Yes, you said good night to us that you were going to bed.
Sure did. And then, unfortunately, as I'm settling into bed, my friend Helena is like, "No, you don't get to, no sleeping. I just woke up. You gotta entertain me." And I'm like, "No, please have mercy." She's like, "No, I'm hungry. Go cook for me."
What?
So that it was food time, and then sleep didn't happen. It's like, nope, no.
Sorry,
no
are you hanging out with your friends, or are you becoming a father? What is going on?
No, but she'll be like, "Oh, you're making them think I'm bad." But like, no, you didn't let me sleep.
Literally, just I'm gonna sleep at your place, and then when I wake up, I want you to make me food. What?
I mean, I often do the cooking, yes, but like this time I was very tired, but then I was up. They kept me awake for so long to the point where I was no longer able to sleep, and you know it's time to keep doing. I'm like, I guess I'll just do the next day too.
Jesus Christ!
But at some point during the next day, I'm like playing some games with like people on WoW or something. You know, we were doing whatever, and she like, you know, went over to lay down, and sure enough, she's asleep again.
What the?
And it's like in the afternoon, right at this point.
So did the realization hit you that it was gonna happen again, and you should sleep now, or?
No, I wasn't tired at that point because it was like 3 p.m. Even though I should have been tired.
Yeah, it's been
at that
30
point,
hours.
I'd been up for 20.
Yeah, I think your body is broken.
Hours.
If I'm awake for more than like 8 hours, I'm like to sleepy time.
I will tell you, at this point, I've been up for 26 hours and she's asleep, and I'm like, but I'm not tired right now. I'm enjoying WoW. So I keep playing, and then, you know, like 3 hours later, she wakes up because you know, it's a pretty decent nap of like 3 hours. And I'm like, hello, good morning. And then we you know, we go out shopping and make dinner and stuff, and fast forward to the point where she wants to sleep for real. Sure enough, she falls asleep first, and a few hours later, I finally fall asleep. So she manages to sleep 3 times before I fall asleep once.
Dan, Does your friend live in your house?
For a couple days, yes.
What is going on over there?
But that was literally only like 2 days and stuff. Yeah. The first night we had actually drank a bit too, so she was very sleepy, and if you were in one of our calls, you would have enjoyed their drunkenness. But
Dan,
I think Armor got to enjoy it. Dugong got to enjoy it.
Oh, I'm
Are
sure.
you okay, Dan? Do you need
I'm good.
help?
I'm great now.
Yeah.
All of yesterday, I was just like, I feel stressed and it won't go away. I'm not that tired, but I have this overwhelming feeling of stress.
Oh my god.
And they're like, it's probably because you're hungry and sleep deprived. I'm like, yes, probably more the latter.
Wow, I
Yes.
wonder why I'm sleep deprived.
Mads in chat says Dan Worlds is coming.
Oh my, are we streaming already?
Yes.
Dan,
Oh, I see.
blink
That was-
twice
that
if
was-
you need help.
That was all
I'm
on
good.
Twitch.
Oh my, it's okay. I bet there's like no one watching yet. So
It boggles my mind that you could just like forget to sleep. I guess you didn't forget, but
I
even so,
tried.
you-
I laid down, and then they were like poking my face and opening my eyelids.
because it was literally around
Okay,
the same time.
No sleeping. No sleeping.
Earlier this week, Chi literally just forgot to sleep overnight and then just continued on through the next day before
my
going to bed
God.
after
Can't
like
believe-
40
I
something
can't believe all
hours.
of you. My max
Like-
like operating capacity is like 6 hours.
Yeah, then I just fucking die. Like
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
You've
So
upset Mads with
close.
your "no one is watching" comment.
Well, Mads is definitely a person. So I'll take it back. There are extremely substantial amounts of person watching.
Oh, Evan too.
Evan is person too. Persons. You have earned plural.
Unfucking lucky.
Anyone remember where we left off?
2/3 of Wizards done.
Right. It has been a hot minute, huh?
Yeah. Shift gear to D&D.
Yes.
Oh, we have some fucky ones.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I forgot we had the lore master and the lore hold tier.
Yes. Where is
Oh my
my-
god.
There we go.
Wizards was such a clusterfuck.
Wizards
Still
has
is.
so many subclasses. How many subclasses does Artificer have? Please tell me
I
it's
don't
like
know.
4.
It's
I don't
4.
know, but you have a lot of time because I
Maybe
can't
3.
be here next weekend. So don't worry.
Maybe it's only
I'm gonna be
3.
here next week. What are you doing next weekend?
I will be having lunch with some internet strangers.
Oh, it's that.
One by the names.
You really planned. Armor really planned that during our D&D streams. He
But-
knows when it's going on.
Lol.
The worst part is it's my fault because it's also Zanx's fault.
You said you're free.
I'm free that Sunday, but I'm busy the Saturday before because it's my dad's birthday, and then the next weekend Zanx is in Texas, so it will be Zanx, Armor, Dugong, Glip, Ungrim, me. I think is the crew.
I demanded to Armor that they take photos. Also, that they should
I love
Photoshop
whenever
me-
people
that they
talk
should
about meeting
Photoshop me in.
people that they know primarily online, because you get things like that where you're just like listing off a bunch of people's like in-game or like internet
Yeah.
names.
I don't
it's just
know
like-
their real names.
These
Yeah.
are these are
Well,
names.
Dugong is Chris.
Really? I
think.
genuinely didn't know.
Well,
Let's-
the only reason why I know is because my
Ungrim.
friend Helena was like, hi, I'm Helena, and Dugong was like, hi, I'm Chris.
So funny.
It would have been so much better if he just said, "Hi, I'm Dugong."
Yeah, because like I think he probably felt weird saying it to a non like WoW player.
I hope he knows I'm just gonna call him Dugong in public, and he's just
yeah,
gonna have
sure.
to live with that.
Well, he's probably fine with it. In fact, I think he's only said it the one time, so I could just be misremembering it. But he did say his real name,
All right, at
and
some
it
point.
probably
Oh,
is
okay.
Chris.
Yeah,
Probably.
literally, I have been introduced to people as Soup.
Yeah.
Primarily when I go meet like a friend and they're dragging along somebody who they know in real life, and it's just like Soup. Okay, yeah, that's me.
I'll have you know, there was a distinct phase when we like were new to online stuff where I would just like have a feeling whenever I heard the name Soup. And I think Mads was around to remember that, and I would just like whenever someone said Soup, I'd go Soup.
Soup.
But now I'm used to it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's,
you're right. It does not even register anymore in my brain. That's just your name alongside Josh.
You just have two names.
it just be like that.
Same with me and Kebab. Unless Dan uses it, then it's kind of funny. Even though we do use it deliberately.
Yeah, I use it deliberately. I would prefer. I almost would prefer to just only use Sean.
You can do that. I don't care.
I know, but like WoW keeps tricking me.
I know. I do.
And other people might not know. I
Yeah,
don't
so
know.
you know that weird like
Ugh.
twinge feeling that you had when people would call me Soup. I have that same feeling when people that normally call me Soup call me Josh. I'm just like, huh?
The mental double take.
I don't know if it's funny because I don't know if I've ever had. Have I ever had that feeling with people calling me there? Like, is there anyone that calls me Thereso that I would prefer them the other one and vice versa?
You know, for some reason I thought you were gonna say for some reason because
Mozilla?
when I look at your name it says Mozilla. I'm just like, well,
Yeah.
if people call you Mo, that's just your name.
Yeah.
Literally,
Yeah,
that's
I
your
mean,
name.
I mean, but people call me Mozilla. People call me Thereso, and I feel like I kind of just flow with it, and like I don't ever have that double take really that I can think of, that I can remember.
What does it say? I mean, how long have you been playing WoW now with that name?
A long time.
And how much do people like scream it in the middle of your raids?
A lot, yeah, I'm sure. But like, no. Not surprisingly, it's more me doing the screaming.
Yeah,
Dan
I was
did
gonna
most
say
of the
like
yelling.
it's funny because in this house there are 3 people that call me Josh and 1 person that calls me Soup, and the person that calls me Soup is my fiance.
Like,
Yes. My wife.
I heard a faint,
I can hear it in real life as well.
a lot louder. Yeah.
Yeah.
It did not pick up on the. It
I
did
heard it
not pick up
faintly.
on the. Oh, okay, you did good.
You know what I think is really
the-
funny actually about Keter specifically is that there was a distinct period of time when we were like meeting up at like cons and stuff where like we would just say Anya, and then like since we've all just been enclosed in our internet bubbles, I've reverted to calling you Keters again.
Well,
I think that's exceedingly funny.
That is funny.
that's great. I feel like, Josh, if you called me Thereso, I would probably have a double take, but I'm not even sure I would. Yeah.
You don't
Well, I
double
was gonna
take
say-
when I do it.
I would say you
No.
experience Sean doing it like every week, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think I'm pretty used to it. Yeah.
And I just want to clarify that you were correct, Josh. Dan does more yelling than he gets yelled at. You just kind of hear it, nope, and then followed by the sound of a warlock dying.
Yeah, pretty much. Especially you probably hear a lot of my weird little yelps just because I'm not on push to talk usually.
yeah, exactly.
Dan just has a lot of restraint.
It's very difficult to tank while I'm push to talk and do things as quick as you would like for some reason.
This
I
is
feel
not
that.
an issue for me.
You don't really tank.
Listen, yeah, I do important shit. Do you know what's so funny? It's so important it's so natural for me to use push to talk and such a non-issue that when we did the extreme
That you
in
were
Final
push to
Fantasy
talking?
yesterday, yes, because it felt right, I switched to push to talk
That's
just
so
for that
funny.
extreme, even though there was
funny.
no reason to do it and there were only 8 of us. I was like, this is a fairly proper raid.
I was
I'll use-
not on push to talk, and so you could hear every time I go, oh shit.
I actually used to push to talk while tanking, and it got to the point where I realized it was causing me to do a lot of misinputs because I have a lot of keybinds.
Mm.
Yeah, that's
And if
that
I
would
had
that would
push to
be
talk on
used
a
to have-
mouse-
that would be a big problem with me, right? Because I have all my mouse buttons bound.
I have one
Yeah.
button bound, and it's
well,
yeah.
I think if I need to push to talk while tanking, I need a more convenient button because I use both my mouse. I use all my mouse buttons for things. So, what do I use it? Can I rebind the mouse sensitivity changer buttons?
Yes, with
Yes.
the software.
Okay.
But wait, hold on. Don't you have a Razer mouse? I think those are generally on the bottom, aren't they?
No, there's There's the
probably
two
one on
side
top.
ones, and there's the pressing the scroll wheel button. So I have 3 buttons that I combine, and then there's 2 additional on the top buttons for changing the sensitivity.
Oh, then possibly, yeah.
And I feel like I could probably awkwardly make one of those my push. It's not very good.
Have I had to explain to non-online people why they call me Soup? Not super often, because a lot of times, like, people that I'm talking to, who I'm introduced to as Soup, like, know that I'm from the internet.
If you ever
I-
if you ever change your name to Horizontal Milk, you will absolutely have to explain to people why you were called that.
Imagine if your fiance was calling you horizontal milk every time.
Milk.
In full.
Or it's just yes, please don't ever. God. It would actually be, I think, weirder for someone to call you milk than it would be to call you soup. And
Yeah,
I
it would be a
don't,
lot weirder.
I don't
Well,
have an
it'd be
explanation
weirder-
for why.
Listen, it would be
I think
weirder.
it's pretty obvious.
It would be weirder for me too. But that I think is
Milk can go
primarily because
bad.
I have had the name Soup at this point for literally half of my entire life.
Yeah.
Okay, I will tell you why. It's because soup gets cold. Milk curdles.
What? Why? What? Why is that where your brain goes?
That's where my brain went. Because milk gets a lot more, from on the scale of positive to negative. Milk, sure, they have their positive, but soup has a lot more positive, and its negative is not that negative. The negatives with milk are pretty bad.
Negatives of milk become cheese.
I will say that
There's some, not in
All
most
right,
cases.
that's
the
that's
word-
my dark alter ego. Negative milk.
I will say, I do actually think that
It's better than old milk.
if not all negative, milk has a lot more strange connotations
Interesting.
associated with it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right?
that's fair.
Oh, you're right.
I think this is
Milk meat is a lot worse than soup meat.
Yes. Like,
What? Stop that. Yeah. Ew.
No, I will not stop that. I will continue. There's more.
Gross. Anyway, so to address this comment from Trist, there's a very specific and funny thing, which is that every time I see your name, I'm like Trist. Every time I see Trist's name, I go Trist. And my brain goes, maybe I should start calling Trist Nadja.
yeah. It was I was a little bit surprised when I discovered there were 2 Trists.
Wait, what?
This is not two different Trists. GM Trist is not the Trist that we hang out with in Discord.
Oh.
Ah, yeah, you too, yeah.
Everyone makes the discovery eventually.
Oh no. I've been made a fool.
No, it's fine. I think you're like me in that by pure luck, we didn't confuse this Trist with the other one while in voice with the other one.
Well, I don't really
So,
talk too
yeah.
much with the other one, so
Yeah, it's kind of a miracle that I didn't confuse
yeah.
her. Oh. Anyway, it's fine.
Yep. Okay.
Mhm.
So shall we do some ranking?
Let's do it.
All right.
Vertical
Bullshit.
creme fraiche.
Vertical.
We've bullshitted quite a while.
Vertical cheese.
Vertical milk.
Milk with the Y.
With the Y, MYLK.
Thanks, James Hoffman. Okay, School of Necromancy. Oh boy. Okay, when you get the you get necromancy spells for half off discount bargain bin price. And at second level you get Grim Harvest. You gain the ability to reap life energy from creatures you kill with your spells. Once per turn, when you kill one or more creatures with a spell of first level or higher, you regain hit points equal to twice the spell's level or 3 times its level if the spell belongs to the School of Necromancy. You don't gain its benefit for killing constructs or undead.
And I don't know. This is not going to come up very often at all. And you're
It's like pretty worthless, right?
when are you going to be injured and then have the opportunity to
You like at second
It's not
level
very good
you'll
at-
be
yeah.
at second level you'll get injured and then you'll regain 2 hit points.
and what spell would you even cast?
I mean, any spell, but you gotta
Any
get
spell.
the killing blow.
I thought it was
No. So it's any
Okay.
it's any spell of
You have
first
to
level or
kill them,
higher, but you have to kill it.
Yeah.
But you also get 3 times the level of the spell if
Okay.
it's a necromancy spell.
For a second, I thought it was necromancy spells only, which
I was expecting that, and I was like, "This is a terrible feature." And then I realized, it's any spell, and I was like, "This is still a terrible."
It's still
feature.
bad.
still not good. Compare this to let's compare this to Fiend Warlock. That feature. Remember, how did you feel about that feature?
That feature was
Oh, it was temp HP,
usable,
wasn't it?
But it was also temp HP and it was way
Yeah.
more HP.
That's true. So it was more, and it was pretty much always gonna get an effect because
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
cannot proc this off of cantrips. It has to be a spell of first level or higher.
Yes, you don't get the benefit from cantrips.
Yeah, that one was
It's
way.
like,
and
it's
that
it's-
one
like
was not.
and
puny
it's-
healing.
and it's tiny healing, and it's once per turn. So if you kill 6 mobs, you're
Yeah.
still only getting one.
It's also
yeah.
like they also wrote 2 different qualifications into this feature so that like they don't even like these 2 qualifications don't even need to be here because of how bad it is already. But then they're like, okay, it has to be once per turn, and it's when you kill 1 or more creatures, right? So it's like just slap, 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 slap. Anyway.
Wow.
At 6th level, you can add the Animate Dead spell to your spellbook if it is not there already. When you cast Animate Dead, you can target 1 additional corpse or pile of bones, creating another zombie or skeleton as appropriate. When you create an undead using a necromancy spell, it has the additional benefits. The creature's hit point maximum is increased by an amount equal to your wizard rolls. The creature adds your proficiency bonus to its weapon damage rolls.
Equal to its wizard level. Oh, hit points equal to your wizard level.
Is that good?
Well, the animate dead spell, in my opinion, is not very good unless.
That's kind of what I remember, is that it's just like worse
are-
than like Conjure Animal.
Well, the thing is, there are cases where people can make this work, and that usually it involves a lot of effort because you have to maintain it. You build one and then you maintain it, and then the next, if you put a little more effort, you have 2, and then you maintain them both. And if you're really putting a lot of effort in this, I think you can maintain like a decent small handful of undead. Let's see.
Okay. But like
3,
My-
right?
okay, let's
Let's
see.
see.
We have to look at the spell.
Yeah.
Up to 3 to I guess no. If you're really spending higher level spell slots on like short rests or whatever, or long rests, I don't know. You can maintain a good amount.
Let's see. 4 would be wait, so how many can you make base? Just 1?
I think just
So
One?
one
Yeah.
base, and then
Yeah.
4th level spell you get +2, and then for this feature you get +1. So that's
Technically,
4
if-
total.
Actually, I mean,
You can
technically,
cast
you
this
can just
multiple
keep
times.
spamming it. You can
I
just
mean,
keep
yes,
spamming
that's
it.
true.
If you wanted to be a wizard without spell slots, you could have an army of like 50 of these things.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of those things where like it's very clear that they were very desperately trying to balance minions because this is like base game stuff.
Mhm.
Because like they realize how powerful like conjuring is, and this is like conjuring that doesn't require concentration in any way.
Uh-huh.
Now the problem is like how much does this scale? question mark. I don't know. At 6th level,
Let me
you've got
see.
at 6th level you can cast what 2 3rd level spells.
Sure.
So you
3.
can have a 3. You have 3. Oh wow.
Because you
Okay, so
because you
5
start
you
with.
get
true,
2.
that's true.
I'm
Oh, I
right,
see.
right? Because you start with 2
Yeah.
at 5, so I think it has to go up at 6.
Oh, okay. So
And Animate Dead
3
makes zombies or skeletons, right?
zombies or skeletons, and you get you get 3 plus. I guess you get +1 for each one actually. So I guess you could actually really easily at 6th level have like 6 minions. That actually seems pretty decent.
Yeah, minions are strong. It's a lot of effort because you are going to be spending every day with that is 3 less fireballs in that day.
Yeah, 3 less
Would I
fireballs.
would I have 6 skeletons or 3 fireballs? Obviously, the fireballs are way stronger. Now the skeletons have their own action economy, and that means you can use your turns for other. Like you don't have to. They start at the start of combat, right? It doesn't take you 3 actions. To
I
use.
mean, it is very preparatory, but also it's like if you're using your 3rd level spell slots, you're not having a fireball. So like, what are you doing on your turn after that?
I was gonna say, and how much health do these? Like, how good are
I
they?
think a zombie has 22 hit points. Plus 6 would be 28. So like that's like 56 effective hit points per spell slot you see per 3rd level spell slot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I would probably use my 4th level spell slot at 7 on this.
At
if I was
7,
trying to do
yeah.
that.
So at 7 you get.
That's
4th
really
level.
efficient.
That
Instead of
that's not
1
bad.
at a 3rd level, it's 3 at 4th level.
Mm-hmm.
Three times as
are-
effective.
You
for
are
one-
pretty. You are stacking spell slot, or you're stacking effective HP pretty highly.
Yeah, so I think at level 7, this Animate Dead becomes, I would say, viable.
Yeah, I
at
think
level
viable
6
is
and
the
level-
word for it.
Yeah. And at higher levels, you can certainly make a lot, and it would be really interesting. But the problem is the damage of zombies and skeletons does not scale well enough for them to be worth
Yeah,
it. In my opinion.
even the thing is like even if you have the proficiency bonus, they only
It's
have
weapon
like a,
damage rolls, not
yeah,
weapon
they only have like a
attack
plus
rolls.
like 2 or 3 to attack rolls, I think.
They're just gonna miss all the time. So basically, if you want something that's hard to kill, zombies, but skeletons are basically better at everything else. They do more damage. They can have a bow. So really,
True.
really, just having like an artillery, having like a line of skeleton archers is pretty fucking funny and cool.
You know what? Actually, you've kind of sold me. Now I kind of want to try it.
I know. I
Yeah.
won't lie. There's absolutely something somewhat appealing
Yeah.
about the class fantasy, basically, of like
Yeah.
having these things. But I do want to bring up something else, and I don't know how much.
All wizards can do
I
it.
don't know how much you want to weight this in terms of power.
Okay.
But
Well-
this is so much less convenient than any kind of animate
Oh
spell
my
because
god,
you
it's
have
so
you
much
have
less.
to have the corpses with you, and you have to keep casting it every single day. Like how that's probably not always feasible depending on how your adventuring goes.
Yes. The problem
Okay.
is that actually it's like it is just so annoying. From my experience, it's always been
Well-
so annoying to get bodies.
Let me
Just can't
let me
get good
help you.
bodies these
Let me help
days.
us. Let me help us rate this really in an easy way. If I pull up a skeleton stat
please.
block, yada yada yada, they have +4 to hit, and they have +2 to the damage. So on average, they're going to do on their range attack 5.5 damage. Now, how if a base wizard will have the exact same number of skeletons, and they'll all exact same number of artillery
Okay,
skeletons,
wait,
yada yada.
so-
Oh.
Yeah.
This
Ooh.
wizard does the exact same thing, except for the damage of their skeleton army increases by and for most of the levels where it's relevant by 4. So it'll go from 5.5 to 9.5, which is almost it's like an 80%.
But you're
increase.
also you would also you're also like
Health?
doubling the
Health?
like no, not just the health. You're effectively doubling the amount of creatures you have also, right?
Eh?
You only get one
No.
more.
One additional. Yeah, no.
I'm pretty sure you get one additional each time you cast it.
Yeah, but if you're using a 5th level spell, you normally get 5 skeletons. Now you get 6. It's not that effective.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is like in the case of you cast one spell. I'm saying if you just burn all your spell slots, it becomes more.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if it's really.
It's still not double. Even if you burn every spell slot, you don't get double.
It's
It's more. You're right.
It's
It is
more.
more. I think in total, this necromancer is approximately twice, if not like 2.2 times as effective at making skeleton archers as a base wizard.
And how does that compare to someone just casting fireball?
Eh. I will say this makes skeleton spam like worth your time. Before it's like not even worth considering.
It seems viable. Now, obviously, the problem is like just logistically speaking, like
Yeah.
you have to have bodies and like you have to have like arms for your skeletons, right? Like you have to give them weapons and ammo.
Yeah, I hesitate to even rate this on a power level of absolute max every spell slot goes to them, because eventually you might run out of bodies. Like straight up, unless you want to go really specific and you're raising an army.
When your skeletons die, you just make them again. I'm pretty sure.
I guess so, and so you just constantly have 12 body corpses with you at all times.
And you just drag them around.
Yeah, I mean it is far more preparatory and annoying because you need the bodies, but it's also a lot more robust in that like it's not concentration based. It's not like they go berserk if you fall unconscious. Like they're still going to be there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you fail to cast a spell at the 24-hour point, it might start attacking.
In fact, actually, so once given an order, the creature continues to follow it until the task is complete. So you could literally die, and the skeletons will continue plinking away with their bows.
Wait,
that's fair, but it does say the skeleton is under your control for 24 hours, after which it stops obeying any command you've given it.
Yes, so after 24 hours, or like after 24 hours, or if the task is completed, right? So if you die in the middle of a combat and your skeletons are still up, they'll still contribute DPS.
I think so. Yeah. Depending on if your control still applies when you are no longer existing.
That's a good question.
I'd probably rule that they'd still keep fighting.
I think so.
The skeletons are probably pretty hopeful. Like, he's just down for a bit. We got back up. He probably will.
I think they're still compelled to do the action for 24 hours or until it's complete.
He'll get better.
Yeah, so they don't disappear. They just stay uncontrolled.
We should look at the rest of this class.
We should.
I don't know if you're gonna find much to enjoy. Grim Harvest sucks so much ass.
What is Grim Harvest?
That's the
Grim Harvest already looked at.
Inured to undeath. Being at 10th level, you have resistance to necrotic damage, and your hit point maximum cannot be reduced. That's it.
Resistance to necrotic damage and nothing else.
That's awful. Command Undead.
Starting at 14th level, you can use magic to bring undead under your control, even those created by other wizards. As an action, you can choose one undead that you can see within 60 feet of you. The creature must make a charisma save against your wizard spell save DC. If it succeeds, you cannot use this feature on it again. If it fails, it becomes friendly to you and obeys your commands until you use this feature again. Intelligent undead are harder to control in this way. If the target has an intelligence of 8 or higher, it has advantage on the saving throw. If it fails the saving throw and has an intelligence of 12 or higher, it can repeat the saving throw at the end of every hour until it succeeds and breaks free.
Okay,
I mean,
I don't know.
it is okay. I will
campaign
say
specific.
this is very niche, but it's actually extremely funny in the niche because I'm fairly sure that I'm fairly certain that if you had like a lich and they burned all their legendary saves or whatever and they failed this, they'd be under your control for an hour.
That's true.
It applies to because I'm pretty sure liches don't have good charisma. Pretty sure mummies don't have good charisma. The only real like undead that has like high charisma is like vampires and death knights or whatever they are.
And notably, if you have it for an hour, you can kill it in the hour. It does not become unfriendly towards you if you're stabbing it.
Ooh, true. Just
okay,
this is just a potentially turn off an undead encounter.
Look at this. Look at this. This is all liches are now a trivial encounter because you can use this infinite times. If you were alone in 4 turns, that lich is yours because it'll use its first 3 legendary resistances.
It's gotta fail them.
Well,
but
so if it succeeds, you cannot use this feature on it again.
Oh, there you go. They accounted for it.
No.
See, this is what you need the divination wizard for.
I don't think that
The
applies.
sure kill combo.
I think divination wizards can't bypass legendary resistance.
No, I know, but you have to burn the legendary resistances first.
Oh, okay.
Is what I'm saying. Oh,
Mhm.
see, okay, optimally you just take a monk with you. Oh. Okay, liches only have a +3 to charisma. There's no way they're breaking your actual wizard spell save DC if you manage to
Unlikely.
get there.
Unlikely.
Well, low odds. You're right.
You'd have to have a 24 DC for it to be impossible.
Wait, do you know what's really funny?
What?
This ability doesn't have that really that kind of balancing aspect where it doesn't work on creatures that are immune to charm.
Ah.
which
funny.
would be relevant for a lich that is immune to charm.
Nice.
Well, yeah. Okay, it has to.
So
Yeah.
very funny, but I think just like too niche.
Almost
Two-
zero power level in this, in my opinion.
Yes, agreed.
Almost zero.
So they have basically basically necromancy wizards have one feature.
Yes.
Now, let's look at the list of rankings, and who does it remind us of?
Oh man. Oh god.
Divination.
I almost think D tier.
Yeah, but I think I still think divination's better. But
I do think divination's better.
Oh, it
Yeah,
kinda hurt.
that's kind of what I'm feeling.
I still do think it might be D tier though, because like it has stuff going for it as early as at level 7. Conjuration has stuff going for it at like level 14.
Yeah.
And the other things just don't have things going for it. Illusion has to wait a while for its one thing it's good at. This
Level
thing has to
14.
wait a bit for its one thing it's good at. And it's,
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Yeah, it probably is D. You're right. Okay.
I'm okay with D.
No, I like this. This. Let's keep all of the base PHP wizards together.
oh
Yeah,
my, you're
look, they're all
right.
grouped.
We have a row of 4 of them.
And then abjuration is only one above.
If
And
we
then
make
evocation's up here in
Abjuration the
Chad tier.
If we make Abjuration the bottom of C tier and Conjuration the top of F tier, that is 6 in a row.
I'll do
Oh
it
my
just for you,
God.
Dan.
Thank you.
I don't know if that's correct, but okay.
Okay, listen, we had a lot of discussions about chronergy versus abjuration.
You're right. It's 100% correct.
Definitely.
Okay, onomancy, which is the power of names. You use your magic to manipulate the words that encompass existence. At second level, you learn one language of your choice and gain proficiency with calligrapher's tools.
Okay. Why not?
At second level, you can magically compel a creature to divulge its true name. As a bonus action, you target one creature you can see within 60 feet of you. The target must make a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC. On a successful save, you discern that this magic failed, and you can't use this feature on the target again. On a failed save, the creature is charmed by you until the end of your next turn, and you mentally learn the charmed target's name or the fact that the target lacks a name. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier, a minimum of once, and you regain all expended uses of it when you finish a long rest.
I'm pretty sure there's like only like one tiny like deep chasm of the universe where things don't actually have a true name. I'm pretty sure almost everything in the universe has a true name.
I think so.
It
I have a
depends on your
question, though.
campaign.
Oh,
So
yeah.
do you-
I mean, yeah, that is
So
true.
is
Just base lore though.
is the charm a prerequisite to knowing its true name? Or do you learn regardless if they fail? Because if a creature fails the save but is immune to charm, what happens?
Wait. Let me.
Because it says you mentally learn the charmed target's name, right?
Let's see.
I don't know. Oh, if it's you learn the charm target's name, then
On a
I-
failed save, the target is charmed by you. So if it's
Right.
immune to charm, it won't work.
and you learn.
And you learn the charmed target's name, or the fact that the
Uh,
target lacks name.
I would read that as you
Uh,
don't. I'm inclined to read that as you don't learn it if they're immune to
Just an
charm. But
and. Yeah. I would also lean with what Sean's saying.
I would agree in terms of how it's worded that is how it should work. I also think that from what I recall about the true name stuff, it might make this class really bad against targets immune to charm, of which there are actually quite a couple.
Specifically, I'm pretty sure most devils are immune to charm, and those are kind of the ones that like
That you
true
would
name
want to
stuff.
know the true name of.
all right.
Fateful
Well.
naming. At second level, you can bend magic to assist or hinder creatures through the power of their true names, and even use those names as an anchor to affect others around them. The Bane and Bless spells are wizard spells for you, and you can add them to your spell book. You always have them prepared, and they don't count against the number of spells you can prepare. Pretty nice. You can cast either spell without expending a spell slot if you speak the true name of one target of the spell as part of casting it. You can cast the spells in this way a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier a minimum of once, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. That is pretty good asterisk.
Yes. So
Because being able to let's assume you have like 4 to 5 intelligence modifier. That's 4 to 5 free blesses you get, or banes.
probably blesses.
Probably blesses. Is bane concentration?
Almost certainly.
Yes, it is. Bless is really strong. Asterisk.
Bless.
Okay, I was a little distracted.
Um
Yeah, most wizards don't get bless
Bless is a numerically good spell, and
on casters that are you normally have a shit spell list. On
yes.
wizards.
So
yes,
Things to use their
right.
concentration on.
it's
So
an
the
amazing it's an amazing cleric spell. It's a good spell overall. Is there something better you might want to concentrate on as a wizard specifically? At low levels, maybe not. At high
low
levels,
probably not.
I think 1 through 6, you're pretty happy with bless.
I think so too.
yeah. Yeah. Assuming
Once
you
you
don't
hit,
do
once you hit the polymorph like phase,
Yeah. Oh my god,
Yeah,
I can't
think
believe
I think that is when you you get a
You
real
said-
a real concentration
I
spell.
can't believe it. You're right. I mean, haste is nice, but bless is actually probably
I think
equivalent
bless
to it,
is
depending on how
numerically
many
better
melees.
than
Yeah.
haste.
You're in my brain. I was like, what happens at 7th level? Do wizards even get a good concentration? Yes, they do.
oh
Yes,
yeah,
they decidedly do.
They get the concentration spell TMCR.
one of the most broken spells in the game. I would argue.
Yeah, I would agree.
So yeah, it gets a little outclassed because it doesn't have to scale hard, but it doesn't really scale. So
I think
No,
you're
Gust
really-
of
I think
Wind is
it's
the
a-
best concentration spell in the
I think not every feature has to scale. Like you can just value this as your
I
early
think-
game is stronger because
I
of
think
this.
that's
Yeah.
true. I think not every feature has to scale as long as it's useful in the specific band in which you get it.
Yeah.
And
And later levels, you might still I'll just throw out a bless just
Right,
in case there's
and-
someone we
Yep.
fight in the next room.
but that's also kind of contingent on you getting features that you would want to use later over it, right?
But base wizard always does. Like no, there is no
Yes.
wizard that doesn't.
Exactly. So yeah,
I think it's still used. Actually, I do think this is still usable because at later levels, it's just a first level spell slot. You might as well just have it up on your party if you're ever feeling sketched out, and just if you ever need to
Yeah.
drop it, whatever.
whatever, like literally it's like 5 free blesses, right? It's just it's just value. It's like whenever you use it's like whenever you're in an MMO or whatever and you use like a really low level
true.
ability for the first time in like 800 hours, you're like, I'm gonna sleep this target.
Mhm.
That is so many free blesses. Honestly, like I think
Yeah.
we're not even considering that. That is. At low levels, that is a monstrous amount of blesses. Like you
Because
can bless every combat all the time.
yeah,
At
but like
higher levels, it's like
It's
why
actually
not?
it's really
You don't
funny
need
because
that many.
it means at second level you get more blesses than the cleric. And you get all your spell slots.
yup.
Well, let's take an example of like, let's say a level 3 party or something, and this is the kind of campaign where people fight like 3 or 4, maybe even 5 or 6 times a day, but like not likely. But 3 or 4 fights in a day is actually pretty likely, and it happens. And a bless for each of those fights, and still having all your other spell slots available.
Yeah.
pretty.
That's not bad. Honestly, like there's
What?
if you can pre-buff
Huh?
with a bless, right? Obviously it's a minute, so it can be a
Yeah.
little bit finicky. But like if you can pre-buff with a bless, you just do not give a shit about dropping it. You can get 1 round of value out of it and then just decide to polymorph.
Yeah.
What else does this class get?
Okay.
Okay.
At 6th level, you learn the words of power called resonance, which allow you to tailor your spells to the use of a target's true name. When you gain this feature, you learn 2 resonants of your choice, which are detailed in the resonant options section. Each time you gain a level in this class, you can replace one resonant you know with a different one. When you can use one resonant when you cast a wizard spell with a spell slot and speak the true name of one creature targeted by the spell. Speaking the name is part of casting the spell. You can use resonance a number of times equal to half your wizard level, rounded down, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Okay, so here are your options. Absorption. When you cast a spell that deals damage to the named target, you gain 3d6 temporary hit points. The number of temporary hit points you gain increases by 1d6 when you reach 10th level, and 14th level in this class. So at 10th level you have 4d6, and then at 14th it's 5d6. If this devastation, if the spell requires the named creature to make a saving throw, that creature has disadvantage on the first save it makes against the spell. Okay, that's really good.
That scales forever.
Yup.
You just got to learn that person's name, of course, which could take just only a bonus action if you're lucky.
Yeah. Dissolution. The first time the named creature takes damage from the spell, the creature takes an extra 2d8 force damage. The extra force damage increases by 1d8 when you reach 10th and 14th level. Nullification. If the named target is affected by any other spells, you know what those spells are, and you can attempt to end one of your choice by succeeding on an intelligence check with a DC equal to 10 plus the level of the chosen spell. Puppetry. The first time the named creature takes damage from the spell, you can knock the creature prone or move it up to 10 feet, either directly towards you or away from you.
Matt?
I was thinking.
No. It's too much movement for Mr. Mercer.
It's true. It would be 5 feet. It would be 5 feet. It was Matt.
And then sympathy. If the named creature is within the range of the spell, you can target the creature with the spell, even if you can't see the creature or if it has total cover against the spell.
Man, right now I'm feeling like if you don't get that guy's name, and you have to be within 60 feet to even start trying to get his name, either that or you have to do some weird research magical bullshit that is DM reliant. Your second level and 6th level features are nothing. You can't use them.
Yeah, this is what I was afraid of, right? If a creature is immune to charm, and that means you can't extract their true name.
Or they just roll a 50-50 and just you don't get it.
The second level feature is always good because you're casting on allies and you will know their true names, presumably.
Yeah. But
this one, it's at least some of these are friendly, but the friendly ones aren't the really exciting ones, are they?
They're also not that good, right? Like Nullification is very whatever.
It's kind of niche.
It's
lower
very
levels,
niche.
enemies are most of the time going to be succeeding on your saves to learn their name.
It's also it's also a wisdom saving throw, and you can only do it once basically on each target, because if they succeed then you can't use it again. And
really?
There's usually only one target that's worth using on.
And if there's if they're immune to charm, which a lot of boss creatures tend to be, that basically just makes it so that you don't have class features.
Yeah.
How powerful are these if you assume a 100% it always works in your favor, right? For knowing true names.
I think Devastation is really good.
I think exactly one of these is good. Yeah. And it's Devastation. But the thing is,
only one, huh?
You can only use one anyway. So this feature only lets you learn 2 of these, which is funny because why not? There's almost no power level difference in you just getting all of them.
There really isn't. At 10
'cause
you
of
learn
the-
2 more.
Yeah, I hate it's just like that. Anyway, but you're really just gonna be devastating them. And it's is getting a +5 to your spell save DC on one creature? Because I'm equating advantage or disadvantage to approximately +5. It's it's just not gonna happen most of the time. 2/3 of the time, it's just gonna not work. It's just so minor. It's so tiny.
Yeah.
I don't know. Late in the game, it might really pay off. Making that guy fail that really big save on your force cage, if it even has a save. I don't remember.
Doesn't, but the point still stands.
Banishment, maybe. I don't know.
There's also kind of just an inherent problem with your class features being tied to a one and done attempt that is a saving throw,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Because like any creature that is worth extracting the name out of oftentimes will have legendary saves. So you wouldn't even be able
Ooh.
to do that until like a couple of like rounds in anyway. And it's like
The
cuz like you're not going to use it on a creature that you know has legendary saves until you know they've burned them.
Also,
use-
you
You
have to
can
be
only
within
use
60
it
feet of them.
once.
the number of times that we have managed to burn out every legendary save and they're like not
So
just
rarely.
hanging on by a
Right,
thread at that
like at that point they're like
is so
20
low.
HP.
Yeah, so it's oof.
Mm.
Anyway, let's
Well, real quick before we move on, like I do think something that can salvage this class is a different a world that is not base D&D, which is not going to give this thing any more favors in like ranking, but like you need in this class will be really interesting if there are systems in play where you can go out of you could spend downtime to research and try to find people's
Yeah, so
in
Mhm.
preparation.
true.
this is like this is the thing, right? Is that it has potential like in the sphere of like this is just a shortcut mechanical way of like learning a name, right? You can always just like research to do it and like it can be like a whole story arc and that's like cool.
Mhm.
But the problem is because there's no mechanical girding for it, not only is it like kind of not encouraged to do it,
Yeah.
if you do
There's-
it,
there's
your
no
party's gonna
system
be
for
like,
it yet.
why? Right?
Mhm.
You're gonna be like, your party's gonna be like, okay, I guess we'll just spend like 20 sessions learning the true name of a guy that we could just throw fireballs at until he stops moving, right? And like, and right, it's like you're a wizard, just throw fireballs until he stops moving. It's just right.
You pick
And
up
then,
the
like-
quest. You pick up the quest from the bounty board. Kill this bandit guy. He's tough. Guys, we must find his true name.
And it's also just like it's also like
it's Jeff.
it's Jeff. It's what it says on. You know, I guess it would be like you would
Your
get
parents
like
knew your true name.
yeah, I would say you would get like the bounty board notice, and it would be like Jeff Bandit the Village Burner or whatever, and you're like that can't be his true name, right?
What are the odds his parents named him something and it just happens to have been his true name?
Yeah, cause like. Yeah, right. Like the implication here is that your true name is not like your given name. It's
Yeah.
like some fundamental fact about the universe.
It's something you're born with, and
Like,
it'll
I think-
almost never change. Like
I think the
people,
thing is, like,
it
that-
extremely
that
rare
kind
for
of
a true name
thing-
to change.
Like the problem is also like also there's two more big problems with it. Which is like one, it's just so much more work for your DM, right? Because there's
Yeah.
no systems in place to facilitate it. It's literally just
most
like your
people
DM
don't
has
even
to
know their
make
own
up
true
a whole
name.
story arc, right? And then like two, and this is like another thing, which is like this is a story arc that is interesting and fun once.
Yeah.
The second time, it's like okay,
Oh,
we'll
you're
do
so
it.
right.
And the third time, you're like, I'm sick of this.
You're right though. It would be so tedious to find your true name of any like significant boss. Like and then at some point your DM's gonna be, he doesn't have one. Shut up. Just kill it.
He doesn't have a true
Fireball him.
name.
Fireball him.
Well, then you've won. No, they'll just tell you the name straight up, just to avoid that arc entirely.
Oh, yeah.
Read
Okay.
the next two features just to get them over with.
Yes, I'm gonna
It
read the
won't
next
take
two
long.
features and then pick up my
Sorry.
food, which is outside. So at 10th level, you learn 2 new resonants of your choice. So you go from 2 to 4. At 14, whenever you cast a spell that deals damage to a creature whose true name you speak as part of casting the spell, you can cause the spell to deal force or psychic damage to that creature instead of the spell's normal damage type. So you can
That's
overcome
it?
resistance / immunity for one creature that you target. with
Ugh.
the
That
spell.
you know the true name of.
And that 10th level feature is basically nothing because, like I said earlier, the power level of getting all of them is almost nothing increase. The power level of getting a couple more, but still not all of them,
It's
as your
just
10th
like-
level feature.
It's like you get a 1% increase in your efficacy.
Like you can only use one of those resonance every time anyway. You're just not going to use the other ones. It doesn't matter that you got more.
I will say, in theory, you know,
Uh-huh.
dispel,
Yeah,
the
Evan-
dispel magic one is a bit niche, but it has its niche. However,
Evan is
Okay.
completely
yeah.
correct.
Push-
His-
Yeah,
whatever
okay,
the
you got me
boss's
there.
true name is, Chump, who is weak to fireball damage.
His true name is Fireball Me Harder.
Oh.
Kick me sign. Okay. I'm gonna grab our food real quick, and then we can rate
Alright.
this.
Okay.
Dan, I don't think this one's that good.
I don't think so either. I like the early game of it. I actually think the early game of this is actually stronger than Divination Wizard.
Really?
Yep, I sure do.
Huh.
Divination is take 2 rolls per long rest, and maybe make them better, but maybe not. I mean, you're gonna improve the result on average, but it might not have mattered. Bless is a whole minute of lots of rolls being improved.
Oh, I was wondering. I forgot that it gets the bless.
And base wizard doesn't get bless. That's important.
Base wizard
Okay.
does not get blessed. That is important.
So I think
Dan,
this is.
share your take with Josh
Okay.
again.
I think this is significantly stronger early game than Divination Wizard.
I agree.
And similar to compare to as well, because they're both roll affecting basically. But this one gets a lot of blesses, and one bless is one bless over 3 rounds of combat is oftentimes better than the entire Divination Wizard subclass.
Yeah, I think
It
you're probably
is-
right there.
I think it can be. I think there's a couple caveats to that, and one of them might be unfair to consider.
Okay.
But I do want to bring it up, which is that if you have a cleric, the value goes down. It doesn't necessarily
True.
go down a lot, but this is something in which you could replace it, right? Whereas
Unless
at
you're a
the very
6-person
least-
party, then you bless 2 people.
then you do, yes.
Wow. But
But
there's only so many people you want to bless.
yeah, exactly. Not everyone even needs bless all the time.
Yeah, but bless also takes up a concentration slot. Like it frees up your cleric to use like spirit guardians.
No,
I
no,
figured
we're
at low
we're kind of
levels.
talking like 1 through 4.
1 through 4, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
At
you're right,
5, there's other shit.
Yeah, you're right. At 5, this definitely frees your cleric up. I don't think a cleric is going to be using their concentration until 5, though. Very often.
Yeah, agreed. But it's
Yeah,
good.
no, that is a pretty a big detriment because a party needing to like having enough people that use like attack rolls to need 2 blesses, very very rare.
Mhm.
Like,
But
you
your
need-
party, mhm.
yeah,
your
okay,
party
go
might not
ahead.
have a cleric, in which case it's good. And do you want to rate it? I always hesitate to rate stuff based on party comp, and like in isolation, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
But here's basically where I'm coming from. This I kind of think this sits alongside divination and D.
Really, I don't know. I mean, I totally get the
Because I think
The-
divination is a little better long term.
what?
Isn't it? What else
Wow.
does this get
How?
long term? How? Guaranteed forced rolls is better as the game goes onward because you get more powerful saving throw based spells.
Yeah, I guess later game that is useful, but I still think just throwing blesses out before you walk into any door, it's pretty nice. I mean, actually, pretty strong in my opinion.
Is very nice and is pretty strong. And does that bump it up to C? I don't know.
Maybe not.
Well, now that's now we gotta go look at abjuration. What's
Well, maybe actually because all abjuration is like we've said. We can pretty much boil abjuration down to just a chonky wizard.
Yep.
Just more health. A wizard with a barbarian health pool. That's it. I prefer the blesses.
if you just give wizard bless, that's better than just giving them more
No.
hit points.
No. A wizard bless and like 4 free blesses.
Okay, I see.
Because that's a lot of free blesses. 5 bleed. It'll start with like 3. It'll start with like 3 to 4, probably 4 free blesses, but it'll go up to 5 free
we
blesses.
do have to consider that they're basically free, and they're really
That's a-
really good early game. And like it's also
Free
just
stuff is
like
great.
free stuff is always great because like no matter what's going on, if you're in a bullshit fight at like 12th level or whatever, and you're like, I don't even want to spend spell slots, you can just like throw a filler bless out for no reason.
Mhm.
What? No, that's not an argument in
think-
favor of its power. That gives it 0 bonus power because, as we've discussed on every other
yep.
wizard, guess what resource is surprisingly abundant as you level up? Spell slots. No, that is not an argument at level 12. It is an
also-
argument at low level, but it is not an argument as you level up.
Well, you're totally right, but other wizards can't. They can throw out stuff willy nilly, but they can't throw out blesses.
Yes.
Yeah,
I agree
so-
that casting bless is powerful. And I agree that the free blesses at low level are more powerful than, put it this way, much more powerful than they are at higher level. The fact that they're free
Yeah.
eventually just ceases to matter, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
That's fair.
But that doesn't make them bad. Bless is a good spell. I could go either way. I don't know. Does Chronergy do anything of note? I really don't remember what Chronergy does.
It was 2
Just
weeks.
put it on
was-
equal power level of
I
abjuration.
was gonna say it was 2 weeks ago. It was 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Really?
Because we didn't do last week, and then the week before that we did the other ones, and then it was.
We're
the
doing
week
it every
before
2
that.
weeks. We're doing this every 2 weeks, basically.
It's just that's just how the schedule worked
We
out.
we did back-to-back weeks. To be fair, I think we did
Okay.
a week, and then not a week,
Then it was
and now
3
we're
weeks
back.
ago.
Yeah.
But like, I think this is much better. I think not much better. I think this is significantly better than abjuration. I definitely don't think it's D tier.
Josh,
Like I would be happier to put this in B tier than C tier, just because early
Whoa.
game. And think
kind of-
about it, early game.
I really am kind of actually on a very similar page where I really do like Bless, and I really think that, really until you get like Polymorph, like you're gonna be casting it so consistently and so frequently, and like
You're gonna be great for the whole party.
And the thing is, like, it's just like, it's nice that it's a free resource because even if you do have a cleric, right? Like, all it means is that your cleric gets one more spell slot, which is one more heal.
Which is not that valuable, actually.
yeah. When was the last time you saw a cleric run out of healing spells?
Yeah.
I don't think
don't
I've
know.
ever seen it. Period. Ever.
Yeah,
Literally never.
I will grant that, like, yeah, if a cleric's there, this is pretty unvaluable. I would be happy with this in C tier and not up in B tier. I don't want this in D tier, in my opinion.
We'll stick it
So
in
Josh,
C.
I think what yeah, and are you okay with that too, Sean? What do you think?
D is fine. C, I think, is a good place for it. I don't think it hits B. I think it might be slightly better than D.
All right, Dan, read it. It's Order of the
All right.
Scribes.
Well, I have to open it. I can read. I can just look at your stream very, very delicately. They get Wizardly Quill at second level as a bonus action. You can magically create a tiny quill in your free hand. The magic quill has the following properties: the quill doesn't require ink. When you write with it, it produces ink in a color of your choice on the writing surface.
It's a
time-
multi-pen.
Yay! These things are. Anyway, the time you must spend to copy a spell into your spell scroll equals 2 minutes per spell level if you use the quill for transcription. Is that helpful? No, anyway, you can create you can
How
you
long
can
does it
erase
normally
anything
take?
like an hour. I think it's an hour.
An hour
you
per
can
spell
erase-
slot or something. Spell
Yeah.
level.
You can erase anything you write with the quill if you wave the feather over the text as a bonus action, provided the text is within 5 feet. The quill disappears if you create another one or you die. I think that is a flavor ability largely,
Yeah, I
and a
think so.
slightly convenient downtime time reduction feature. Awaken the spellbook. At second level, while you're holding the book, and it's a fancy book that they describe, but it's pretty and stuff, it grants you the following benefits. You can use the book as a spellcasting focus. When you cast a wizard spell with a spell slot, you can temporarily replace its damage type with a type that appears in another spell in your spell book,
Whoa!
which magically
Oh.
alters the spell's formula for this
I
casting
remember
element.
this.
The latter spell must be of the same level as the spell slot you expect. A bit upcasting. Interesting. When you cast a wizard spell as a ritual, you can use the spell's normal casting time rather than adding 10 minutes to it. Whoa! once you use this benefit, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. That is actually really nice for a certain spell, a certain couple spells that I'm thinking of.
What spells you got in
Liam's
mind?
Tiny
Well-
Hut is still a minute, right?
Yeah, it's still a minute.
That one doesn't matter. But Phantom Steed
Oh,
becomes
no.
one action.
Wait, really?
I'm pretty sure. Let me check.
I thought that one had a minute cast time.
It might be have a minute. If it's a minute, then this is again not useful. It's 1 minute. So it's not useful.
minute.
Other
Never
ritual
mind.
spell, anything something takes longer than action, it doesn't matter if it takes a minute or 11 minutes. So this is what ritual spell does this help with?
I have no idea.
No fucking clue. I'm gonna level with you.
Um,
But if so, even if it's good, it's still just you could have just casted the spell. So really, it's just kind of saving you a spell slot.
yeah. So even
But
in the
it's
best
saving you. But it's saving you a ritual spell slot. Yeah. Best case scenario, you save a spell slot. Worst case scenario, you cast the thing slightly faster. It's
yeah.
not really good.
Okay. Well, final paragraph. If necessary, you can replace the book over the course of a short rest using your blah, 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 blah. At the end of the rest, is this yeah? No, that's just you can get it back. You can get the book back if you lose it.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, so basically the one thing here is changing the damage type of your spells. Very interesting. A lot of wizards, in my mind, you take like one damaging spell. Like you take a fireball, and you don't really need other like damaging third level spells usually. This wizard might be inclined to take other ones, or to go out of their way to
What?
inscribe new ones.
So my question is, what other damaging spells do people even
Lightning bolt.
take? Okay,
Lightning
so
bolt.
you would take fireball and lightning bolt.
Potentially.
Yeah, you might take tidal wave to get it to be bludgeoning damage.
That'd be pretty good.
There's a lot of options
Uh,
actually. You can make it. You could take. Yeah, I don't know. I don't need to take the list, but basically, there are enough spells out there that a wizard playing in the way that wizards kind of intend wizards to play, where they go out and gather and add lots and lots of spells to their spell
That's true.
list.
This
This
does
is really
kind of
reinforcing that.
this really does
I-
encourage you to go and copy down spells.
I remember when this came out because I loved the design, and immediately I think I was like, that was the moment to start the spreadsheet, right? Of
Oh,
which
yes.
spells, when, and what level. It forces you to pick up spells and give you value out of spells that are normally just shit tier because they're outclassed by other stuff, and I love that. Even if you're never actually casting the other spells, it's thematically
Yeah.
great. Power wise, I do think changing spell damage types is pretty good, but
And it's infinite uses.
and it is infinite uses. No resource required once you have it. I mean, the resource is that you have one for your spell written in your
You know what
book.
is really funny though?
Well,
But you might cast a spell. You probably won't cast a spell. It probably
I
fulfills a
did
similar niche.
realize something about this though.
what?
So you know how it normally takes an
One
hour
for your
per
useful
spell
spell,
slot
I
level
guess.
to copy down a spell.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This kind of implies that if you see a spell, you don't have to buy that much time to like copy
Steal
it
it?
down.
Wizard
So
theft.
yes, so you could steal
May
it.
I
You could-
may I peruse this?
May I peruse your wares, sir? Starts writing rapidly. You wouldn't download a spell, would you?
This just reminds me of those times where I've had the people in a bookstore come up to me like, "Are you gonna buy that?" When I've just been sitting there reading it for hours.
Dan!
Oh my god.
It
And I'm like,
does
"Oh,
not-
sorry, distracted."
it does not surprise me even a little bit that you were one of those people.
But I just want to see if I want it, and then when I'm done, I'll be able to know.
You're literally that XKCD.
Oh no, I don't know what XKC is this. I don't know. If I know.
Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. It's called Bookstore.
Oh no.
I've
I knew
distracted
that.
us somewhat.
I know for a fact there's other people who have done this, so I'm glad that there's an XKCD.
It's in the on air chat, but I can also link it in
Mhm.
Twitch.
Let's take a look.
You have a book in there, don't you? Whoops, I read the whole thing. That's
Anyway.
fine. That's good. I actually, if we value, I almost value this kind of on the power level of like more than a feat in my opinion, because like there's a feat out there, Elemental Adept, that basically just makes you bypass some resistances, or maybe not, but not immunities. It's better than that. And wizards can easily gather enough spells out there to just, fill up their spell book.
I think
it's slightly GM requirement.
I think
it's
that's
slightly
I think that's
GM.
true, but
go ahead.
I also think that a large part of the reason a lot of wizards don't engage with the spellbook mechanic is just because they have no need to, right? This actually
They already
gives
have
you a
enough.
reason, right?
Mhm.
Like wizards aren't exactly lacking in the number of spells they know, nor the amount of times they can cast them.
Yeah,
But this actually gives you a reason that you might want a spell that normally nobody would ever take.
that's true. That's actually very true. Yeah, and I think once you have a reason, you will be able to go out and get that. So just changing damage types to risk at will, you will basically just bypass resistances and immunities to nearly all your damaging spells forever. There's a lot of 10th level features that are like doing less than that. 14th level features that are like you bypass
Yeah.
resistance and immunity. Like this is really strong for second level. You just have to put a little effort in, and a lot of the times it's useless because there are no resistances.
Yeah, I actually don't think this is that strong for second level, because I actually don't think it's that useful at second level. I think this is better as you
Later.
encounter. Yeah, later. I actually think this is kind of low power level when you get it, and for a decent amount of time afterward.
I wouldn't argue that. No. Yeah, I think you're right.
Very fair.
Mhm.
Next.
Oh, I'll read this one and then I'm gonna go get food.
Oh, thank you.
Hang on. I just have to maximize. All right. Manifest Mind. At 6th level, you conjure forth the mind of your awakened spellbook. As a bonus action, while the book is on your person, you can cause the mind to manifest as a tiny spectral object hovering in an unoccupied space of your choice within 60 feet of you. The spectral mind is intangible and doesn't occupy its space, and it sheds dim light in a 10-foot radius. It looks like a ghostly tome, a cascade of text, or a scholar from the past your choice. When manifested, your spectral mind can hear and see, and it has dark vision with a range of 60 feet. The mind can telepathically share what it sees and hears, no action required. Whenever you cast a wizard spell on your turn, you can cast it as if you were in the spectral mind's place instead of your own, using its senses. You can do so a number of times per day equal to your proficiency bonus, and you get them back on a long rest. As a bonus action, you cause it to hover up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space that you or it can see. It passes through creatures but not objects. It stops manifesting if it is ever more than 300 feet away from you. Wow. Or if someone
Pretty
casts
far.
spell magic on it, or the awakened spellbook is destroyed if you die, or you. Yeah. Once you conjure the mind, you can't do so until you finish a long rest, unless you expend a spell slot of any level to conjure it again. Okay.
Nice.
I was about to be really annoyed if it was a long rest once per long rest.
How does it move? Does it move? Does it have its own? How much movement does it have? Or do you have to
30
spend your
feet
action
on
moving?
your
You have to spend your action
turn
moving
as a
it, or
bonus action.
Bonus action 30 feet movement. How often?
it's not that useful.
Yeah. How often do you wish you could cast a spell from a specific
Yeah, I
other
think-
point?
30 feet of different away from you.
Yeah, I think the thing about this is that it's just really not going to see any combat use.
But out of combat
Out of combat, you can definitely pull some fuckery with this.
and
Can
pre-com, even pre-combat, I would argue
Well,
there's a
so
lot
the
of
thing is,
pre-combat stuff.
so you
It's
can,
not invisible.
It's a tiny little book up in the air. No one looks up.
But it's actually
Honestly,
within
though, it's like
300
a
feet of
bird.
you.
You just snipe people from like. What are they gonna do? Hey, there's a book up there, 200 feet up, and it's shooting fireballs at us. I guess we die.
yeah. The thing is like, it is
They have no
not,
idea where
it
you
is
are.
not. It isn't invisible, but it is. You can have it up to 300 feet away from you, and like, you could definitely just put it down, move 300 feet away, just wait, and then cast a spell on the next passing person.
Okay. Is that a dramatic power level increase for the class?
Not
I'm
necessarily.
not sure.
I don't think that it is, but I think it's really funny and
Well,
and
listen.
potentially nichely useful. But I do think I think that's niche is really what I'm getting to. I think it's cool. I think it is a little bit niche.
You can. Well, I actually think this can have a pretty hefty power level.
Mm-hmm.
In that simply like anytime there are enemies and the party would normally approach this. This is like all the fucking time where there's enemies and you guys.
Oh, I see.
walk
You
up.
just send the book instead of you.
Well, you not necessarily that you could do that, but once if they kill it, then you're out of danger. But yes, if you do that, that means you are never going to die, and you are going to be just as effective as a normal wizard, except for immune to death. Which is all on its own pretty fucking amazing. But I honestly think even without doing that, and you don't want to just abandon your party, you stick with your party, and you just send the book in first.
You sit
And
behind full cover.
You just start barraging the enemy, like bombarding them. And when your book dies, when they finally kill it after it's like blasted half of the enemies, because most of them can't reach it because the book, then the rest of you go in to wipe things up, to just clean up.
Yeah, imagine.
What are
just
they gonna do? Shoot
Imagine
your
just
book?
a fucking book with some googly eyes pasted on it, kind of hovering towards you, like,
Artillerying?
what is that? What is that book doing? It's got a fireball!
This is oh god, this is just drone strikes.
Oh no!
Wizard drone strikes. God.
This
What
is
is the
little
hell?
drones dropping mortars and shit. Like, I mean, but like, what do? If they shoot your book, who cares? You can bring it back.
What is the health on the book?
I don't think it has health.
It does. It actually has AC. It uses your
Wait,
AC,
what? Oh.
and it has a number of hit points equal to your wizard level plus your intelligence modifier. So
Okay.
they'll actually miss it like half the time, and it'll take like 2 hits to kill it. with their
Yeah,
arrows.
it's pretty squishy. Okay.
But the thing
Otherwise, that's amazing.
At a certain number of feet up, all their even if they have short bows, they have disadvantage, and you can
It
still
can't-
fireball them.
Hold on. It can't be that high.
It's a kid.
It can be, but it means the higher it is, the closer you have to be.
That's
That
true.
is true.
But like, if let's say, what's the range of a short bow? It's like 80.
80.
Yeah, it's 80. So you plop this thing 81 feet, 85 feet up, let's say. And how far away can you be?
How are you? I guess you
Wait, hang
plop
on,
it down
where-
and then you
where
move
is-
it slowly there per turn.
Where's the part where it says what stats it has? I can't find it.
Probably
It's
at
in
the
the
top.
text.
My eyes are glazing
All right,
over the text.
I'll
There's
read
so
it to
much
you.
of it. Yes,
At
please.
Manifest Mind, it looks like a ghostly tome, a cascade of text, or a scholar from. Oh my god, a scholar from the past. Your choice.
Oh my
You can
god,
make
can
it
you
like a
imagine?
floating
Wait,
dude.
that would be so
Woo,
fucking
I am
funny.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Can you imagine if you were just standing there and Confucius walks up?
Yeah,
Hold on. It's tiny.
No,
It's the
Confucius.
A
small
tiny Confucius
and a tiny Confucius floats towards you.
floats towards you and it's just fucking cast fireball. Jesus Christ.
And he sheds dim light. And he, oh my god, it's just like, and then little tiny Confucius starts fucking raining hellfire missiles. I mean fireballs, but you know what I mean. This takes away counterplay from the poor DM's enemies. Like, you have to be creative, but like you will trivialize a lot of encounters with this shitty little meme feature.
Wait, hang on. The statistics?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. I'll read it. The Spectral Mind has a number of hit points equal to your wizard level plus your intelligence modifier, and it uses your armor class and saving throw modifiers.
Wait, where?
Where?
What? What do you mean where?
Which order?
Uh,
At 6th level, you can conjure forth the mind of your awakened spellbook. As a bonus action, while the book is on your person, you can cause the mind to manifest as a tiny
I'm so
spectral.
sorry. I was reading ahead. Wait.
Oh, okay.
It's 10. This is a 10th level feature.
Oh. So manifest mind, it looks like it doesn't have hit points,
Huh?
right?
It does not specify hit points or AC.
On Manifest Mime?
yeah.
I don't think so.
What are you? I'm on dnd5ewiki.com.
Are you reading the Order of Scribes official or the Order of Scribes subclass from the Unearthed Arcana?
Ah, I must be reading the wrong one. Unearthed Arcana 72 subclass.
Yep, we're reading the official Tasha's Cauldron of Everything release.
Wait, so if this doesn't have hit points, then does that mean it's immune?
I think so. Let's see. It stops manifesting if it's ever more than 300 feet away from you. If someone casts Dispel Magic on it, if the Awakened spellbook is destroyed, it
But how can it be destroyed?
doesn't clarify. Wait, let's see. Maybe in the spellbook.
Because now you got to read it. Because I gotta go pull up the real one.
If you die, or if you dismiss the Spectral Mind as a bonus action, what does it mean if the Awakened spellbook is destroyed?
It just means your wizard loses their spellbook.
No, I mean, how do you destroy the spectral spell?
Burn it?
How do the enemies not just die to Hellfire missiles?
They kill you.
No, but they have no idea where you are. This gives no indication of where you are.
That's why it's good.
You're a couple hundred feet away behind a rock.
How
You
many
could
hit
be-
points
you
does
could
a
be-
book have? Yeah.
You could literally be in your underground drone bunker because you molded Earth your own little bunker before the enemies
I was
even.
gonna say the Spectral Mind can see and hear. It has a dark vision range of 60 feet, and it can telepathically share with you what it sees and hears with no action.
I take it
required.
back. This doesn't trivialize some encounters. Just trivializes like all encounters.
It trivializes any encounter that you can prepare for.
Yes. Which is I would
not
say more
all
than
of
half
them.
of them. The I would say in most D&D campaigns, the active force is the party. The party is not usually the reactive force in campaigns. In one of Josh's campaigns, we were largely the reactive force in like
Oh.
in our evil campaign or whatever the fuck. But like,
No, I'm not going to get into it. I'm going to say 50% of them.
sure,
Go
let's say
dead down
50.
the middle.
Sure, I'm fine with that. Why
Cool.
not?
Excellent.
But like, what does the enemy do against you? Run? Run from the book. Ah, it's immune.
I mean, they probably can outrun it. It can only move 30 feet.
And even if they shoot the book with an arrow, what? Oh no, the book has an arrow in it. It can't be. It doesn't have hit points.
It's just the spell book. Yeah. No, Josh, it's literally just it's the book. That's it.
Okay,
It's
that's
your
kind of what I assumed, right?
Yeah, it's literally just your spell book.
Yeah. So there's
mean,
no
what does-
counterplay.
So yeah, they need like maybe like a fire arrow, an acid arrow, or something like.
Well,
no,
So
it's-
So the spectral mind is not the same as the spell book, right? So they still have to reach
Oh.
you.
Yes.
So they have to reach your real
yes.
book.
Exactly,
Yes,
so
in
yes.
all cases, it's the same always. They have to reach you.
Okay, so you're right. There is no counterplay.
Well, the one counterplay is someone casts Dispel Magic on the spectral mind, and I think
Which
Dispel
has a
Magic
range?
has a range of 120 feet. That's pretty okay.
pretty good.
All right. There's
How many
one
spe- how many-
counterplay.
How many people have dispelled magic?
Probably not a lot.
Not
Almost
a lot.
no
They have to have it
NPCs.
prepared, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well-
and actually no. The other counterplay is just cover. This spectral mind cannot move through objects, and it can't open a door.
I mean, full cover, yes. But
You
also,
just-
So we
like,
get this
you just-
horrifying vision of the drone is buzzing above, and everyone dives for their houses and stuff.
We just
Wow,
go
this is
in-
too real. This is
if
too
you-
real.
Yeah, if you just go inside any fucking building, this thing can't follow you.
Yeah,
that's
but you know
not,
what this
that's
thing
not
can
actually.
do?
That's not true. It can shatter the building down.
Not fair. I was gonna say the same thing. I was like, honey, dive inside. The drone's gonna kill us. Oh, we're safe in here. Half the building blows up. Drone approaches.
Oh,
Run! Oh god, this is
The
horrifying.
spellbook casts Earthquake.
With unshatterable cloth.
That's what fireballs are for.
yeah, but I like the idea that now you go into a building with unshatterable cloth, and you're just like creating your own like prismatic wall here for the spell book to take down one turn at a time with spells.
The world's
I like
most,
the idea.
the world's most manual prismatic wall.
Yeah.
I like the idea of the enemies at one point to start running away, and then the book puts a wall of force around them and slowly just walks closer and
no.
closer.
Oh,
We've created the most horrifying thing ever.
you have.
We didn't make this. They made an Anathakana, and
Don't think-
and then
I don't think
and
they
then
intended
promptly-
it to be used like this.
but they promptly made it
think they did.
official. They had
Um,
plenty of time to
they did
realize
make
their
this official.
errors.
They had plenty of time and feedback.
My God.
Yeah, they play tested this and then made it broken.
They not only put this out as Unearthed Arcana, they also provide you a survey to put feedback in.
And the feedback was it needs to not have hit points.
Can't believe that.
God, I'm gonna grab
Never
my
listened.
sandwich, but you can move on to
Oh.
the 10th level one.
Okay,
I'll catch up.
10th level, whenever you finish a long rest, you can create one magic scroll by touching your wizardly quill to a blank piece of paper or parchment and causing one spell from your awakened spellbook to be copied onto the scroll. The spellbook must be within 5 feet of you when you make the scroll. The chosen spell must be of first or second level and must have a casting time of 1 action. Once in the scroll, the spell's power is enhanced, counting as 1 level higher than normal.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
You can cast a spell from the scroll by reading it as an action. The scroll is unintelligible to anyone else, and the spell vanishes from the scroll when you cast it or when you finish your next long rest. You are also adept at crafting spell scrolls, which are described in the Treasury chapter of the Dungeon Master's Guide. The gold and time you must spend to make such a scroll are halved if you use your wizardly quill.
Well, honestly, I think one of the best uses for spell scrolls for wizard is to hand them out. Oh, time to drink. Oh, time to drink again. Is to hand them out to your party.
I think no one can read them but you is the problem.
Well, I was gonna get to that, but I was drinking, and that's what I was gonna say. This feature isn't
Okay, I'll start drinking. You
as
talk.
I was gonna say. Yeah, okay. Because I just finished my 3 little sips. It was kind of chugs, but like anyway. The main power level I think of like that previous wizard that could make spell scrolls is you could hand them out to your party. This one cannot do that. So what is this useful for? Because can you? And it's not like you. Oh, but it generates it's extra spell slots.
Yes, that's
Yes.
It's extra spell slots. Okay. And extra shields are cool. 2nd level shields.
You should definitely play that game now. It's really
Hello, Gwen.
it's a really good stream.
Dan says hi.
Hi Dan.
I
Sorry, I was playing
heard a of Dan.
Anyway,
How much value is more first and level
first or
spell slots at 10th level? I really
Not
don't value it that
not-
much.
Very
super
small.
high. I'm trying to think about what first level spell you would want to cast, and the
Yeah.
problem is that the only first level
What's-
spells you would want to cast are reaction spells.
What? Okay, what 2nd level spells would be good to have free ones that are 3rd level spells now?
Let's
None.
Probably none. I'm gonna quickly
Probably
peruse it just
let's look
to
at the
be
spell lists real quick.
darkness, blur, enlarge, reduce is fun.
All the
Hold
good
per-
ones that have effects that are upcast are bad because they don't scale well.
Yes,
Old person upcast gives 1 more target. That's a good one.
it's not bad, not bad.
Having some double value hold persons is okay. Invisibility is 2 targets, I believe. Yeah, double target hold persons, double target invisibilities. I don't know. That's all right.
You can still do those, to be clear. It just
Oh,
the
yes.
3rd level spell slot instead of a 2nd level one.
Yeah, and which you arguably have enough of anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say at 10th level, your 3rd level spell slots are still pretty precious. I would argue.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I think
just having these other spells out there,
I was
and
to
you're
say,
like, we might
I
as well
think-
just have a few of our people start invisible at this combat, right?
I think it is just like supremely like quality of life nice in many ways.
Yeah.
Because like it means that you don't have to make the choice between like potentially upcasting a spell like invisibility, which feels like, oh no, it's one of my fireball slots, and you just get it for free, and you still have all your 3rd level spell slots to fireball as you please.
It encourages the use of these shittier spells too.
I think invisibility is the one that, yeah. I actually thought there was going to be none, but there's one that's okay.
Yeah.
It's niche.
One
It's not even
spell.
niche, but yeah.
In fact,
it
that's
does
4
something.
people. That's if you can do this twice, right? You have 2 scrolls, right?
Do you? Let's see.
Is it 1 scroll? One
Concentration.
One scroll.
And it's concentration.
It's concentration. Yeah, you're not getting this twice.
Wait. I thought scrolls you didn't have to No, I guess you do have
I
to
think
concentrate on
these scrolls you do.
I think all scrolls you do actually.
Yep.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only like certain magic items that don't require. Okay, but okay, well, that's all right. Start a combat with 2 people invisible for a little bit. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's all right. Not a very good feature, but
yeah,
it's okay.
I was gonna say, it's not like you're gonna have to concentrate on it for long because they're gonna take the free advantage and then they're gonna pop out of invisibility.
Yeah. It helps people position, not get targeted. I don't know.
Let's see. 14th level, your connection with your awakened spellbook has become so profound that your soul has become entwined with it. This sounds like a problem. While the book is on your person, you have advantage on all int arcana checks as the spellbook helps you remember magical lore. Pretty cool. Moreover, if you take damage while your spellbook's mind is manifested, you can prevent all of that damage to you by using your reaction to dismiss the spectral mind, using its magic to save yourself. Then roll 3d6. The spellbook temporarily loses spells of your choice that have a combined spell level equal to that roll or higher. For example, if the roll's total is 9, spells vanish from the book that have a combined level of at least 9, which could mean 1 9th level spell, 3 3rd level spells, or some other combination. If there aren't enough spells in the book to cover this cost, you drop to 0 hit points.
Oh my.
What? Wait, can you just like insta-kill yourself with this?
Well, not kill, insta knockout.
That'd be so funny. Can you imagine if you had no spell slots left and you had full hit points? You take 1 hit and you use this feature and you drop to 0 instantly. Like you wouldn't, but it's potentially there, which is really funny.
I'm going off memory, but I believe the Unearthed Arcana variant may have been if you take an effect that would have dropped you to
That
0
would've
hit
dropped you to
points.
0, yeah.
I think that's how they did it initially, but I can't remember.
At 14th
Guys, you
level,
have professional editors.
15.
Until you finish 1d6 long rest, you are incapable of casting the lost spells, even if you find them on a scroll or in another spellbook. After you finish the required number of rests, the spells reappear in the spellbook. Once you use this reaction, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest.
You
So
have
it's not-
54 spell levels at 14th level. Like you have 54.
So
Thingies.
the thing is, it's not spell slots, it's spells.
Combined spell level equal to that roll. or
Yeah.
higher. Yeah.
So,
that's why I
like-
said you have 54.
What do you mean?
I did the math. Like,
Is this assuming that you take the maximum number
yeah.
of max level spells? Because it varies depending on what spells you took.
well, let's say you rolled a 3d6 and you got a 10. You
Yeah.
could get rid of a 7th level spell slot and a 3rd level spell slot.
It's not spell slots, it's spells.
Spells in the spell book.
So so for instance, if you rolled 3d6
Oh.
and you rolled 9, you can forget Meteor Swarm and it negates the
Oh,
damage.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
And then
Okay.
you forget Meteor Swarm for 1d6 long rests.
Oh,
which
that's so annoying.
I mean, like,
This one should have a lot of spare spells because
Yeah,
you
so-
ideally this is another reason to go out and copy every wizard spell in the game.
Mm-hmm.
so the nice thing about this is it's not prepared spells. It's literally just spells in your spell book.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like you can go out and learn all the bullshit 8th level spells you want. There's a lot of bad ones, I think.
Well, this is just
how good-
This is basically just once per long rest. Use a reaction to ignore all damage from one source.
Yeah.
That's very
yeah.
good.
I
mean,
like,
well-
and I would say that the consequences
good.
are really not that great for doing so either. Like the cost is not actually that high, realistically.
It's pretty insignificant.
Realistically speaking.
It's really pretty insignificant. the
Actually-
main cost is your sanity from having to remember which things you lost. on
Right, you
which
just
day.
cross
you
that shit
forgot?
out. Okay, I will say this though. So you can use a bonus action to re-manifest your mind as long as you spend a spell slot.
Okay.
So like, it's not just like once per long rest, right? Necessarily, it's like you expend a first level spell slot as a bonus action, and then you get it up again, and then you can continue to not take damage once per turn or once per round.
Wait.
So this doesn't have a limiting Once per.
No, 'cause,
no.
It is once per long rest. Though.
Very bottom. Very bottom.
Oh, very bottom. Okay, you're right.
That's what I said earlier. It's once per long rest. You ignore one social damage. That's basically it.
I mean, yeah, I think you won't be upset about it. Like,
It's not super powerful.
Yeah, in the case in which it is going to be relevant, it's going to be nice, but there are very few in which it is going to be like really the big difference maker, I think. This is honestly like if you're drone striking from like 300 feet away and then suddenly someone sneaks up on you and you're like, oh no. Like someone hits you with like an assassinate and you're like, oh no. Anyway.
Yeah.
The spells forgotten thing is going to be relevant soon. It's not really relevant to begin with because the implication is that you have so many spells. So like, like if we look at the wizard spell list, right? Like let's say like a lot of the like let's say like astral projection, right? You just forget astral projection. Like you're probably not going to need astral projection. A lot of 7th and 8th level spells, like the cost of it is really just very low.
Fair.
So yeah, where do we put this? This is a weird one.
Let me see. I think it's actually unfortunately going to have to be pretty high ranked just because it's unfortunately it kind of breaks the game a little bit.
I kind of agree, but kind of where I'm coming from is it's functionally just like a wizard that just like doesn't die ever.
Yeah,
in any case in which you are able to prepare, right? I think the thing about Bladesinger that makes it more flexible and potentially better is that there's no preparation needed for Bladesinging. You just pop it.
Even if your whole party dies, you're still there.
Yeah, you really don't die. Period.
Whereas Order of Scribes feels like it needs some setup. So in any case in which you aren't able to set up, you have just fewer features, really.
Yeah, but like even if this was a base wizard on encounters where they attack you, and this wizard on the ones where you prep, it's still like like nuts. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you can still distance yourself enough that like functionally you can just spend every single turn backpedaling as much as possible and then just keeping your spectral mind in the same place and then just doing whatever, right? Because it's just like otherwise as a wizard, like you're moving only really if people are getting too close. This is just you can move preemptively and then they'll never get close enough. They'll just be disincentivized to attack you.
This is really just like better than Bladesinger in every single way. Because like con saves don't really matter if you're never getting hit. So
I guess so. I do worry that when you do things like involve range, you become dependent on environment, and I think we're over idealizing the environment in many cases, in that there might be a reason that you are unable to get away.
Well, might I introduce you to certain spells like Dimension Door?
Yeah, right. Just pop it, Dimension Door out. All right, guys, have fun.
Every encounter that you can prepare, you win automatically. Every encounter that you don't you get ambushed, Dimension Door, you win. Like
that's true. The actual like expenditure of resources, you can really work around. Like wizards get so many tools to just run the fuck away.
Like honestly, I think this has to go in our highest tier because this should not be printed.
No,
I'm not sure. Okay, I don't know about
you're
that.
wrong. You are absolutely 100% incorrect.
Tell me.
Because of exactly the reason I said there might be motivations involved in which you want your wizard to be there. It requires you to be, for any fucking reason, to protect someone else because there is a barrier. For any, like...
Wait. How does the wizard being there protects anyone?
I have no idea.
Okay, the wizard being there makes them less safe because now the wizard can lose concentration. Now the wizard can actually like lose their ability to cast their spells and help people. I cannot think of a single situation besides a medicine check that the wizard should be there.
No, well, so the thing is that I actually don't necessarily think it's a 100% catch-all. I think it is very, very viable in, I don't know, rough estimate like maybe 70 to 80% of encounters. I think there are going to be encounters where the environment is prohibitive in such a way that like you can't necessarily just get out of dodge, in which case you're mostly just a wizard.
I don't really agree. I maybe level 1 through 6, but after that, you're good. You are now a wizard that is functionally invincible.
So long as you have absolute knowledge of where everything is.
You don't need absolute knowledge of where everything is.
I suppose not, but if you like, I guess it's an argument against everything else. But if you get ambushed in any way, you're in trouble,
Literally
right?
just backtrack. Go in a tree,
them,
whatever,
right.
anywhere.
What if you're surrounded? Then you've got to teleport away. Hopefully, there's no one there that's able to find you after
Are
the
enemies
teleport.
surrounding you with a 400-foot battle lines?
Mm.
Do they have several million soldiers?
I don't think I can. I still don't think I can sit with it in lore master tier. I don't.
I think this trumps lore master.
I'm not sure because I
No.
think
Lore master is mortal.
okay, like the thing is that it's not like unconditional immortality.
It can't be S tier. It can't be S tier because it's directly better than Bladesinger by a long shot.
Is it?
Is it?
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Blazer can get hit by spells. Blazer can get hit by attacks. This thing can't get hit by attacks. This thing can't get hit by spells.
Yeah, but that's like assuming an ideal environment, right?
Yes, it
No,
takes.
no. Not assuming an ideal environment. Assuming any environment.
Okay, I'm going to assume an environment in which you are in a 30 by 30 platform floating in space.
In space,
you go.
you're
If
all
you
dead.
leave-
You're all
if-
dead.
Final
There's
destination. If you leave, you fucking die.
Put
You
yourself
were
in a
stuck.
bubble.
You
Global
are-
invulnerability. Boom. Done.
Yeah, then God. No, I can't put it in lore master tier.
I think
Hey,
the thing is
global
that you are.
invulnerability, wall of force, anything. A wizard that puts himself in the wall of force before has to put like holes in their wall of force or other bullshit, which we technically shouldn't really allow. That's kind of bullshit. This thing, just fully enclose yourself. You sit back and pick your nose while you win the encounter.
I am unhappy with this.
But are you
You-
seeing my point here?
I do like Wall of Force shenanigans. I'm upset
what-
that you brought this up.
Okay, so here's the thing though, is that like it's not just that we're assuming any we can't just assume any environment, because I think the fourth time that you pull this bullshit, the DM is gonna just say, okay, now you're facing only 10 wizards. They're all gonna teleport on you and cast Meteor Swarm or whatever, right? Like you are still mortal by many definitions of the word, and you're still vulnerable to many forms of attack, which are going
If
to
your
start
gimmick-
to be built into.
If your gimmick is so fucking powerful that the GM has to break their campaign to even have a chance of scratching you, I think it deserves the top tier.
Then it would belong in the top tier.
I mean,
You can
Can't
still
even
be
touch you.
you can still be surprised.
Yeah, if you get one shot in the first round, I'll grant you you're dead. So is Lore
Applies to
Master.
all of them, yeah.
Yeah. So that's
non-abjuration.
there's no merit against that there.
Mm-hmm.
They all get one shot in the first round, except for maybe Abjuration. Yeah.
I mean,
It's so
there is
cheesy.
okay, but there is also just the counterplay of one wizard casts Dispel Magic on your Manifest Mind, because suddenly you're 300 feet away and you can only summon your mind
don't have to be
within
that far
30
away.
feet.
You don't have to be
yeah.
that far away.
Six
And also, your manifest mind, you can, if you're doing global invulnerability and wall of force shenanigans, just have it be 150 feet up there.
No.
200
You
feet
can
up.
only summon it within 60 feet of you.
Yeah, you could have been. Yeah, that's true. But you could get it moving.
Oh,
Like,
you had me until Dispel Magic.
Look at the list of
But
creatures that can cast Dispel Magic.
But Dispel Magic is a very limited. That's a very niche
Super
thing.
niche. Super niche.
But it shuts it down really hard. I don't know. Oh no, that makes it
how
even
does that
harder
wizard
to rate.
know? How would that wizard ever? How would that creature ever know that they could dispel that thing?
Oh, they would know
It
instantly.
just looks like. Now, what do you think they're gonna try to dispel people's like other creatures?
I think they
No,
would see
okay.
a book. Stop. Dan.
Yeah, I think-
Hold on. They would see a book that is shooting spells at them and try to dispel it after they tried to shoot it with an arrow.
Well,
That is what
I
would
was
happen.
I really think you're
they wouldn't see 'em.
overestimating how stupid people are.
That would be the instant
Listen.
reaction.
It's not a book. Remember, it's Edgar Allan Poe up there.
The
It's a
spectral
tiny-
mind
Look
is
at-
a tiny object that hovers and gives off light.
It would get
Maiden
dispelled.
Wall. Their creature can't be dispelled.
So
Do you think they would? Oh, that creature, that magically glowing creature, is attacking us. They're going to try to dispel it. No, they're not going to try to dispel it.
I'm telling you, there will be two things that happen. They
Okay.
will try to damage it, and then they will try to dispel it when it can't be damaged. That is the
Um,
sequence.
Actually, the first one usually doesn't even happen if you're fighting creatures. It feels like most of the time they have to deal with the people that are in front of them.
So anyway, I think in about 80% of encounters,
95.
95, fine. We'll compromise and say 95% of encounters. It is you are functionally, possibly, I don't know. The thing
Immortal.
is, you can still get hit by ranged attacks. It's like what level do you get? Wall of Force
9.
9.
You get
That's
Dimension
still
Door
pretty
7.
late there.
You get 9 at Global Vulnerability. But like, there's other things you can do. Like even at lower levels, you can just sit. You could just blink.
Yeah, I mean, if you just sit back, the thing is, you can still get like targeted with like ranged attacks.
You could just sit behind a wall. You could dig a hole in the ground and just be underground.
And that requires the prep.
Or you just find a ditch and dive in.
I think
Maybe there's no ditch
it's
around.
as time
Tree.
goes on.
If you're in a perfectly flat open area, maybe no.
as time goes on, you eventually sort of get increasing barriers to you require less and less preparation to become so powerful. I think you are weakest at 6. You're mostly when you get this at 6, you're strong. I still think it requires preparation up until around 9 or 10 or more. So I guess that would be the big weakness is early levels. And that would be the thing to compare to Lore Mastery, because Lore Mastery, if I recall, has something amazing at every single
It's
level. in
broken
its
at
tier.
level 2.
It's broken at level 2, and every level beyond this becomes good at level 6 and broken at level 9.
Yeah, I think the big problem for me
No.
is that this is like undoubtedly a very powerful feature, but the problem for me is that it requires preparation and an environment that suits it, right? I think there are legitimately going to be situations in which like you're going to be like, you know, maybe you're in a 30 by 30 arena and every side of you is covered in magma, right? And there's like nowhere to teleport to. I think there are situations in which you're going to be at a disadvantage because you exist as a person, right? It's not unconditional. You use you use an action and become invincible for 10 minutes, right? It's like you still need to finagle it.
It just
And I
It's something
think-
that should be banned from campaigns because it literally breaks 50% of encounters, as we agreed on.
Yeah, and
it
think
ruins. And
I
it
think
ruins
you
them in a
ruins
really
D&D.
unfun way.
Yeah.
Because like you can't be with your party now. Oftentimes, right? Like it's that's the reason we're so upset about
literally
this.
your party would be harming the campaign by actually showing up.
Yes,
You'd be better off soloing everything.
in some cases, yes, and it would require contrivances to overcome that, and so it's so cheesy that it doesn't feel like it should be that powerful. And
Well, we can disparage it for being cheesy and awful and should be banned, but that's not gonna like change its power level.
I don't know. The thing is to me, like, even no matter what, like, you are still vulnerable to like damage and effects, right? It's like there are situations in which like you are going to be set upon. I think.
Sure.
Right.
I mean,
like there's going to be
but that-
situations in which you hide around a corner and reinforcements come from around that corner and they beat the shit out of you.
Okay, but I mean, I think if any other wizard hit around the corner, you might be more inclined to go around that corner, I guess. But like,
No, you'd probably be less inclined. That's the same argument against any other wizard, isn't it? Here's my question: what does Lorehold have going for it?
A minion. I think.
Vulnerability. Listen, I'd be willing to knock this one down to Lorehold level simply because you have to wait till level 6 before you break the entire game.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know. What do you think, Sean?
Oh no, I don't know.
I think this is
I think it's at least Lorehold tier. I'm worried that it's Lore Master tier. I don't think, but it is level 6.
Lore Master. So level 1 through 5, all you are is a wizard that bypasses immunities and resistances, which is cool.
It's a very
pretty
weak
good.
wizard at those levels.
Yeah.
No, that's a really,
at those,
really weak
at those
wizard
levels,
at those
it's
levels.
really bad.
At those levels, it is effectively nothing. We have there's quite a number of wizards that are nothing at those levels, but
True.
it is it is nothing. It's not taking away from it. Pretty close to nothing.
I have
then you
some.
break the game.
I have some ideals as well that I don't like putting in that. I think Lore Mastery had every feature was fucking amazing, and this one is this one has one feature, literally one feature. I
Yeah,
believe.
it has one feature that is potentially game breaking. The thing to me is that it is not inherently game breaking, but it has very high game breaking potential, as Dan has demonstrated.
Yeah.
Does the magic quill make copying / learning spells free? No. Yes. I don't know. They don't clarify.
I want to see.
I don't
someone,
think so. I think it just reduces the time.
I want to see someone play this.
Oh God.
I really do.
I think the
don't.
problem is I would need to see a practical demonstration of it in an
Yeah.
entire campaign.
Agreed. I can't because I simply can't believe that you will always get maximum usage out of this feature.
Most encounters, your party's just gonna win anyway. In which case, ratings don't matter. You could be all F tiers and you'll win anyway.
Yeah, and that's another thing is like this doesn't. If you were gonna win anyway, then this feature does nothing for you.
No wizard, none of these wizards. The list. Let me tell you, if you're gonna win anyway, this list doesn't matter. And we can't. We cannot rate. We physically cannot rate this list based on encounters where you're gonna win anyway.
We're gonna win anyway.
That doesn't. The list breaks. Everything breaks down.
It just
You have to
this
assume
one
difficulty.
this one breaks the. That is fair. This one breaks the game outside of the normal parameters of 5e because 5e requires because Lorehold is all of the stats and everything is powerful. This is like you have to go hide and do some bullshit.
Your stats
And
don't matter.
You're really not playing. Yeah, exactly. Your stats become somewhat irrelevant if they can't
Your
get to
party
you.
is
Yeah,
irrelevant.
But
this
it-
feels like one of those builds where you are like, I found a glitch that makes me able to attack the Dark Souls boss from the fog wall, right?
And you're just
Yeah.
shooting arrows at it from the fog wall, and they can't fight back.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're gonna have a 100% win rate against that boss, and it was a broken strategy, but it's not really intended.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
You feel like a lot of people will just not play around it because playing with the party is a base assumption. Like that's kind of
Yes.
where I'm coming from too,
Yes.
right? Where like it has so much potential to be completely and utterly broken, but it's not like a surefire 110% win strategy in that like there is counterplay to it if if it comes down to it.
But,
so
like,
copying spells.
if someone had a
takes-
magic item that just said you are permanently untargetable and invulnerable, like you'd wear that, but you probably wouldn't be happy about it. It could be too good.
Yeah.
Mm.
Also,
Sean might be happy about it.
But this-
actually.
Also, I think you know
Thank
what I
you.
think I realized reading this. I think I've realized that I think Wizards has forgotten what spell books are.
Good. No one cared anyway.
Yeah. Well, so the thing is, in the actual like flavor description, and the mechanical description, it says for each level of the spell, the process takes 2 hours and costs 50 gold pieces. Because you must practice spell until you understand the sounds or gestures required, then transcribe it into your spellbook using your own notation. The cost represents material components you expend as you experiment with the spell to master it, as well as the fine inks you need to record it. Once you've spent this time and money, you can prepare the spell just like your other spells. And then in the Book of Scribes, it's literally just like, when you copy spell into spell book, it costs 2 minutes per spell level.
Imagine your practice. Everything's in fast forward. Everything is 30 times faster. So normally that wizard that's over there practicing the spell, you see it in just like in fast forward replay mode.
Yeah, I think they just forgot what copying spell books actually entails.
That's a lot of writing. You're pretty fast at writing, huh?
Just really good
anyway.
at writing. But yeah, I don't think it replaces the gold cost then, which I think is really funny. It doesn't require ink. I know it's weird, but I think the quill not requiring ink is like non-magical ink, and I think that the ink you need for copying spells into spell books is magical ink. It would be really funny to try to pirate spells like this. Is all I'm saying, because like it would be a little elaborate. It'd be kind of like a heist movie.
That'd be funny.
Okay, can we move on to psionics?
Yes.
Second
This is
level,
gonna
you
be a
learn to
really
channel
long
psionic
one, huh?
energy through a special object, a psionic focus. You gain the object
gotta
with
pee.
this feature while your psionic focus is on your person. You gain the following benefits. The object is a spell casting focus for you. When you roll psychic or force damage for any of your wizard spells, you can reroll any of those damage dice that rolls a 1, but you must use the new roll. If your psionic focus is lost, you can magically recreate it by meditating for 1 hour during a short or long rest, at the end of which the focus appears in your hand. Wait, what is this link? Where does this link go? Oh. It's a drop down. Okay, that's all flavor, it doesn't matter. Starting at second level, your study of psionics begins to unleash your mind's potential. When you gain this feature, choose one of the following cantrips: Friends, Mage Hand, or Message. You learn that cantrip if you don't know it already, and it doesn't count against the number of wizard cantrips you know. While your psionic focus is on your person, you can cast the chosen cantrip as a bonus action requiring no components and with the modifications listed below. Friends, when the spell ends, the target doesn't become hostile to you. S tier.
Oh God.
We fixed friends, everybody. Mage Hand. You can make the hand invisible when you cast a spell, and controlling the spell is a bonus action for you. I'm not sure when the second half of that is going to be relevant in any way. But invisible Mage Hand, I guess. Congratulations on becoming an arcane trickster. Message. You don't need to point toward the target or whisper your message out loud. I didn't even know those were parts of the message.
Message really isn't that good. Can we all hang on? D&D 5e friends. Can we discuss something here?
Yes.
I believe the wording on friends is, hang on. When the spell ends, the creature realizes that you used magic to influence its mood and becomes hostile towards you. Only the second half of that is negated.
That'd be so funny.
When the spell ends, the creature realizes that you used magic to influence its mood. I interpret it as that still happens.
I think that still happens. I think what happens is they know you cast friends, but they're cool with it. They're like,
Yes.
you know what?
I
You just wanted to be friends.
like what? Anyway, I think you still can't use friends. I think friends is still bad in this scenario. Is what I'm trying to get at.
No, I don't think so.
I
I think it's finally usable. Listen,
really?
what is a little mind manipulation between
Here's my-
friends, and now we're
Here-
friends because I cast
Here-
friends.
Because you cast friends, and they're not like. Well, they go from. It says they're not hostile toward you, but that could just be they're not guaranteed to be hostile towards you. They might still be pissed, or they might still not be like thrilled with you. Put it that way. It doesn't guarantee that they're happy with you.
No, but that means they're neutral at worst.
I guess. I don't know. I think there's something between neutral and hostile. Unfriendly, perhaps. Yeah, I think they might be unfriendly toward you. Anyway, it probably doesn't matter.
At 6th level, while you are carrying your psionic focus, you can use a bonus action to magically transform your body into pure psionic energy. The transformation lasts for 10 minutes until you use a bonus action to assume your normal form or until you are incapacitated or die. While in thought form, you are a figure of luminous psychic energy with your psionic focus hovering within. Your form can appear as anything you wish, but it is obviously magical, as the same size as you and sheds dim light in a 5-foot radius. Any other equipment you are wearing or carrying transforms with you and melds into your thought form. You gain the following benefits. Psionic spell casting. When you cast a spell while in thought form, you can cast the spell psionically. If you do so, the spell does not require verbal, somatic, or material components that lack a gold cost. Great. Psychic resilience. You gain resistance to psychic damage and bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from non-magical attacks. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum once. Regain all expended uses upon a long rest. Okay, so all you've missed, Dan, is that you have a special spellcasting focus.
Okay.
When you roll psychic or force damage for any of your wizard spells, you can reroll any of those damage dice that rolls a 1, but you must use the new roll, which I think is really funny because it means you can really crank the damage of a magic missile if you roll a 1.
Oh shit.
Yo.
If your
very
psionic
efficient.
focus is lost, you can magically
Yes.
locate it, etc. So you get you choose one of 3 cantrips, and it becomes augmented. Friends, Mage Hand, or Message. Friends, when the spell ends, the target does not become hostile towards you.
Yay.
It's usable. Mage Hand.
Uh.
Your Mage Hand is invisible, and controlling the spell is a bonus action for you. And Message.
Nice.
You don't need to point toward the target or whisper your message out loud.
Well, that's good. That's thematic for this subclass.
Mm-hmm. Dan, I had beef with the friends one. I'm gonna
I had
read
beef
to
with your
you.
beef.
Yes, I'm gonna read to you the ending of the line from Friends.
Okay.
When the spell ends, the creature realizes that you used magic to influence its mood and becomes
Oh.
hostile toward you. Do
This
you
one's
see my?
still-
Yeah,
It's still, they still realize.
they still realize. They just don't instantly become hostile towards you.
What?
I think that's still a problem. I think that makes Friends still not good, but you know.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
that's-
think it's a problem.
I agree with you. I think that.
Josh,
I think that I'm like, wow, I don't really feel much about it, but like, you definitely just influenced my emotions. Maybe wouldn't I have a little suspicion that maybe I'm still
Yeah.
under the effects of something?
Yeah, like just because they're not immediately hostile toward you from the spell itself does not mean they're even neutral toward you. Is
Oh,
my
God.
interpretation, but there is some argument to be had there potentially. Anyway, I think Friends is still unusable because of this, but you know.
Well, you'll definitely get use out of Mage Hand and Message in some out of combat situations. Well, maybe not definitely, but you definitely could.
Yeah, invisible Mage Hand. I mean, you're like basically half of an arcane trickster at that point.
You just do floaty stuff. Like, look, I'm levitating. No, it's just an invisible mason. No, shut up.
So you can so you get a thought form bonus action transformation for 10 minutes. It is you can use it a number of times equal to int mod. You can cast spells that and they don't require verbal, somatic, or material components that lack a gold cost, of course.
I heard that meow from across the house. That must have been so loud.
Is there chaos afoot?
I assume so, given that they appear to have ceased talking.
Oh no, there's no chaos.
Oh, okay.
Wait, you said you heard a meow?
I heard a cat.
That was not one of our cats.
Oh, okay. Could also have been Steven.
That's probably true. Anyway, and then you gain while in that form you gain resistance to psychic damage and bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks. Which 6th level, I think very good. I think you'll take that as a wizard.
Uh,
You You want to be almost a barbarian? Probably.
How long did you get this? Sorry.
10 minutes, or until you are incapacitated or die, or dismiss it as a bonus action, and you can use it a number of times equal to the intelligence modifier. This makes you functionally tankier than your fighter. I'm pretty sure.
I guess so. That's pretty good.
Is it though? It's only a 4th level spell slot.
But you don't have to concentrate on this one, and it's a bonus action.
I know, it's so much better.
It's so much better. Okay. 10th level, when you deal psychic or force damage with a wizard spell, you can add your intelligence modifier to the damage against one of the spell's targets. Yada da da da.
Cute.
Wait.
What else do they get at
Wait,
10th
hang
level?
hang on.
Oh, it's oh my god. It's niche. It's so specific. That's so funny.
I'm thinking.
I don't think it multiplies. Don't even try.
I'm thinking.
No.
I think you're right. Although, what was the wording on
Oh.
evocation?
Okay, you're right. We should.
Oh, to one
Damage
damage roll.
rolls.
Okay. Whew.
Oh, thank God.
So they just take the extra damage. Like, okay, cool. 10th level. Also, you add your mind's power expands to greater heights when you gain this. When you gained his feature, choose one of the following spells. I don't know why this article has 2 different typos in it.
That's embarrassing.
You can choose choose one of the following spells: Dominate Person, Scrying, or Telekinesis. You can add the spell to your spellbook, cast it without components. You can also cast the chosen spell once without expending a spell slot. After you do so, you gain the ability to cast a spell without a slot when you finish a long rest. You get a free Dominate Person, Scrying, or Telekinesis. Probably Dominate Person or Telekinesis. Sure. Yeah, I don't think you'll be
guess
upset
so.
with that. Dominate Person's good. Telekinesis can be good.
Yeah, sure. I like it.
At 14th
Oh, you're a
level-
sorcerer.
Yeah, at 14th level, while using your thought form, you have a flying speed.
14th level flying.
Equal to your walking speed and
Oh.
can hover, and you can move through other creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain. You take 1d10 force damage if you end your turn inside an object, etc., etc. This does mean that because you can thought form so frequently, because you have 5 of them, it does mean you can walk through objects, which is always funny.
Wow.
I mean,
That is
to be
very
fair,
convenient.
much less impactful on a wizard that can already basically walk through objects.
This is what teleport's for, but you know,
But hey,
still nice.
Yeah. I like that.
I just want to acknowledge that the 10th level feature, where you can only add your intelligence modifier to the damage if they take force or psychic, seems comically niche.
No, yeah. I mean, you'll probably take the what is the 5th level? The 5th level psychic fireball one.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember the name.
I was gonna say, although psychic damage spells are a lot more common with Xanathars and Tashas.
That's true.
Looking at you, Ralathim's psychic lance.
Yeah.
That's true. Oh, there are some really nuts ones. Yeah.
Yep. And then you do 5 more damage to one target.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is-
awful.
What's
You see what I mean?
Terrible.
It was just
See, what's-
useless.
What's really funny is that this is an Arcana, right? And when this came out, there were basically no psychic damage spells in the game.
And they let it
So-
be all the targets.
So this has retroactively gotten somewhat better.
But barely.
But barely.
You can, I mean, it does. You do roll better on psychic or force damage because you can reroll any damage dice that roll 1.
Yeah, but all all the psychic ones that are good so far are D6s, which means you take your ones and make them into a 3.5. Whoop-de-doo.
Is it all of the ones that were ones?
Yeah, any you can roll any dice that roll a 1.
So like a few of your, okay, on average, 1 to 2 of your dice you'll gain 2.5 damage of. So on average, your psychic spells you're gaining another like 2.5 to 5 more damage.
Yeah.
If damage happens multiple times, do you get it more? No. So it is very specifically worded. You can add your intelligence modifier to the damage against one of the spell's targets. And it says to the damage and not to the damage roll, which is what makes evocation so broken with magic missile. This class sounds like it's just buffing magic missile. I mean, kind of.
Yeah,
the
but-
class that really buffs it is evocation.
Yeah, evocation's the real buffer. This doesn't
Multiple
do jack.
times. Yeah, so it
Compared
does
to
not.
evocation.
Yeah, it does not apply multiple times to one target because it refers to damage as the lump sum of damage, whereas evocation is one damage roll. But the thing about magic missile is it only has one damage roll that multiplies.
It's one. It gets multiplied, whereas this doesn't get multiplied. Yeah, this doesn't do jack shit to
Yeah, in terms of
to
sequencing,
it compared to.
in terms of
Yeah.
sequencing, it's whether the damage comes before or after the multiplication, and in this case, it comes after.
Yeah, compared to evocation, this does effectively almost nothing to magic missile aside from it gets
Yeah.
rid of some nice variants, but it does have barbarian wizard. So
Sixth level, yeah. The sixth level.
I
stuff
mean,
is
sixth
good.
level really is you get it. You have basically 4 of them, maybe 5 already, and you just become resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, slashing damage, which are the main threats that you will be facing.
Mhm.
Not magical, but
Non-magical,
like if somebody's
but-
coming at you with a magic sword, you have other
Yeah.
problems.
We have figured out. Yeah. Oh my God, you don't have the health points to take care of that. We have figured out that it's pretty rare that enemies actually do magic damage. So
Very rare. Dragons
Yeah.
do not have magical attacks in
Yeah.
any respect. Which are just the big one that come to mind.
God, I feel like I'm still reeling from the fucking Order of the Scribes one. But where does this sit?
Oh, boy. I think it's
well,
strictly
compare-
better than Abjuration.
Yes.
Oh yeah. But like up until 6th level, you. What are you
Your
getting?
magic missile is a little better, and you have
Eh.
better cantrip, I guess. I don't know.
So not great, but
Not
like
that
whatever.
impactful.
It's not egregiously terrible. And at 6th level, you are quite tanky. Like, what is tankier? Versus physical attacks, a blade singer or this? I almost think a blade singer, but I'm not actually sure.
Probably Blade Singer.
I think a Blade Singer because having that high of an AC means you're functionally taking like one attack every like for 3 rounds. You know?
You think you are taking less than half the amount of attacks that a normal wizard is taking, like with mage armor or something?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, it's possible.
And then the other reason,
Blade singer, of course, also gets like other
Yeah,
things.
obviously Blade Singer does a bunch of other stuff.
are you talking at a specific level? Because eventually Blade Singer becomes, like
I feel like this
Becomes
is a-
like what?
I feel
Sorry.
like this is
it can
a-
absorb damage, so it takes less damage even. Like it becomes
That's true,
tanky
that's true.
health
And
wise.
also, yeah, I think this is not quite an A tier class. Our A tier classes are pretty heavy hitters.
Hmm.
Um,
Let me see.
I'm really tempted to put this in B tier.
Let me take a look at the list.
Oh, this is the problem with doing these 2 weeks apart.
Yeah.
I don't remember why we put these here exactly.
You have no one to blame but yourself.
Was I the reason? No, I have to blame Dan. Dan was the
What?
reason we didn't do it.
I was fine with continuing to go further. Probably.
No, you were in Croatia. That's why. We were like, oh yeah, Dan, we're gonna do tier stream, and then Dan was like, oh guys, I'm in Croatia.
I
And Sean was like,
told
shit,
you I
I
was
knew
gone.
that.
True.
I didn't know
Um,
shit.
That's fair. I don't know. I do think a tier below Blade Singer actually fits really well because even if they are similar levels of tanky, Blade Singer gets 4 levels earlier.
Yeah.
That's most of the early game. So I'm actually pretty okay with it being an A tier because I do think this is about as tanky as a Blade Singer once you hit 6th level.
Blade. Well, hold on. Blade Singer also gets advantage on concentration saves.
Which is great.
and a bunch of other bullshit at 6th level, including a faster speed,
True.
or at 2nd level. Like,
Whereas this thing gets
Yeah, it's so Bladesinger gets proficiency in performance.
Where's the
AC
list?
with
There.
Bladesong it gets intelligence mod to AC, walking speed increased by 10 feet, advantage on acrobatics checks, bonus to Constitution saves.
int to it.
You get
that closed psionics. God damn it.
And it gets those at 2.
Yeah.
So I think Bladesinger's
Yeah.
a lot better.
Yeah. Okay. This one gets the.
So here's my question, and this is an issue that I'm having, right? I'm looking.
So it might be another tier below. It might be B.
I'm looking at evocation, right? And evocation has 0 survivability. But its features
DPS.
but its features are 2nd level spell sculpting is nice. Don't hit your allies, even if not super powerful. I actually don't remember what it gets at 6. At 10, it becomes stupid DPS, and at 14, it maxes spell damage on Cones of Cold. So it's like really good damage. This one only has one really good feature, I think.
Yeah.
Is that enough to
I
put it on
think-
par with evocation?
So
Is my worry.
This is where I'm at, which is that like the survivability is really nice, but the A tier wizards are just really heavy hitters.
I get
now,
it.
now I've run into an issue of I don't remember what Silver Quill does.
I think was Silverquill the one with silvery barbs? It must be.
Which is
Let's see. Silverquill, silvery barbs is immediately after a creature you can see within 60 feet of you succeeds on an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. You can use your reaction to demoralize the creature. The creature, unless the creature is immune to being charmed, it rerolls the d20 and must use the lower roll. So this is forcing rerolls on successful rolls. And then you get
Okay.
special darkness.
and then you get extra darkness.
And then also you get extra damage for
Eh.
proficiency to psychic or radiant damage, and also you can frighten for free.
You get the AoE frightened, don't you? Any creature damaged by it is frightened.
That was pretty good. This one's very tanky though.
This one's very tanky.
And tanky wizard means wizard alive to do more base wizard stuff. And
I
base
think
wizard
that's
strong.
I think that's true, but I also think that the thing about A tier wizards is that they all add something to the base functionality of a wizard. Whereas this just amplifies.
Bladesinger doesn't really.
I know, but Bladesinger is like it's just straight up unkillable.
Mage of Quandrix does what?
Quandrix had some bullshit, I think. Guiding bolt, diminishing function, supplemental function. Oh, this is the one that could just like move people. And then null equation, I think was maybe good.
What's
Oh,
nice
that's right.
about thought form, by the way, that you can use this up a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier instead of 2 times like Bladesinger.
True.
I know, that is true. That is nice.
I just still I'm leaning towards A tier. Just like I don't think it's that much worse at doing what Bladesinger does.
I think that's I don't know. The thing about a Bladesinger, right, is that it doesn't take a lot of hits to begin with because it has really high AC. And then on top of that, even if it does get hit, it has a much higher chance of not breaking concentration. Whereas for a psionic, because you're using base wizard AC with maybe mage armor, you're taking more
Ooh.
hits, and you have to roll against concentration checks more often, and you have to invest more in concentration.
You're taking an equal amount of hits as a normal wizard, as a base wizard. Just to put that clear.
Right, exactly. But like this is where I'm at in terms of like this is the functionality of psionic versus Bladesinger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. That's interesting. I don't know if that affects the power level too much, but you're right that if you take half damage but double the hits, it's worse because you have to roll more concentration checks.
No, you still you lose concentration if you're unconscious. The half damage part you can ignore for this purpose.
Can you? I don't know.
You're just gonna assume.
Half damage is not a detriment for your concentration in any way.
No,
well, it is compared
but
to.
half damage means half damage versus
It's
high
less
AC.
efficient compared to Blade Singer, yes, for concentration.
Are you just
compared to a
assuming-
base-
Okay, you're just assuming that you'll succeed every concentration check.
No. No,
Um,
I'm telling you that this. We have to be absolutely clear that this wizard is equally as good as all wizards except for Blade Singer
Correct.
at avoiding concentration. That's all
Agreed.
I'm saying.
Agreed.
I just want to
Yeah.
make sure we're not saying this thing is going to lose concentration more than a base wizard.
No, it's
No,
actually
no,
it's
no,
actually it's actually a little better. Because you're less likely to have the really high.
hits.
Really high damage.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. You're so it's better at that than a base wizard. Agreed.
Okay, but yeah, definitely.
I was comparing it to Blade Singer in that scenario, Dan.
Specifically, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Blade Singer will take fewer hits as opposed to just more hits but half damage. And I was like compare anyway.
Yep.
But really we should be looking at I think we all agree it's not S tier because we think it's worse than Blade Singer. So we should be looking at A versus B. Is
I
sort of
think
the
it
issue here.
is-
What matches it best?
It is strictly better than Evocation at 6th level.
Yes, true. Evocation gets like a nothing feature at 6, doesn't it?
I think it's also better than Silver Quill at 6th level. Silver Quill gets like one
Mhm.
pretty good feature. At first and I don't know. Actually, maybe they're about equal. Actually,
I would probably rather have resistance to damage than
Mhm.
reroll. Oh no! Hold on. I have to phrase that more carefully. I think resistance to damage is arguably more powerful at 6th level than rerolling. I would prefer to have the rerolls straight up. More fun.
Yeah.
But resistance is very good, especially because you can't
I think-
cast stone form at that
Yeah,
level.
the thing is that I
It's so
think
powerful.
resistance is one of those things where because it's a passive always on buff, right? In a sense, that gives
Asterisk,
it
but yes.
inherently a lot of value. Asterisk. But I mean, you get 4 of them. It costs a bonus action to enter your form. Like unless you're getting ambushed, like
That's why it's an asterisk and not a caveat.
Well, I think it's A tier. I think it fits there.
Thank you, Josh. I was about to ask.
yeah. So Artificer had the potions of growing.
Yes.
They had an extra spell slot of max level. And that's pretty much all they had, actually.
I would rather have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing than a bunch of potions of growing. But that's because I'm a coward.
It complements Space Wizard just living longer.
Yeah. I think it may actually go in A tier. Maybe you're
I
right.
think it is A tier. Yep.
Defense is very
I think-
strong when your base class is so strong.
Yeah.
I think Evocation is better than it, but I think it's still an A tier.
I was kind of
And they do different things
leery
anyway.
because we do have other mages that get resistance, but nobody gets it as early. Which I think is like a big thing for Psionic. Okay. Technomancy. Fuck me.
Oh no.
Second level, you gain
Oh,
proficiency
no.
with sidearms and hacking tools. You're a gun wizard.
It's this one that we
I'm
dreaded
so
to do.
tired.
And we got a lot more to go. Go make
The
it
Order
third.
of Scribes just really took it out of me.
I know. Fuck that one. I wish that one had been last. I've been destroyed ever since.
Okay, so at second level, you trade out your spell book for a specially attuned storage device of your choosing, capable of recording magical data. The computing power of this device must be equal to or greater than a tablet computer. Who gives a shit?
My fucking.
Sixth level, you can insert a spell within an electronic device of your choosing, so that by touching a key or flicking a switch using an action, the spell activates. It's just a spell scroll. A program spell remains in the device for 48 hours. Gone once discharged. You can use this feature to place the program spell on only one device at a time. A device can hold only one program spell. Only you can activate the program spell on the device. What? What's the point then? If the device is destroyed, the program spell is lost. A concentration spell placed in a device cannot be activated while you are concentrating on another spell. Once you use this feature, you cannot use it again. See feature no longer. That seems bad.
Does that do anything?
This seems bad because this is basically just a spell scroll. You could make a spell scroll, but it looks like a computer. Or it is in a computer. If you were playing D&D and you had the ability to turn one of your spells into a spell scroll, but all of the other functionality of the spell is like you still have to like use an action to cast a spell and all that garbage, like it would be
Doesn't
bad.
help. Can other people use it?
No. I originally thought that this would be some like horrific like time bomb terrorism situation where you could like hack somebody's computer so that when you press the power switch it would activate a fireball or something. No, only you can activate the program spell.
So even in this tech world, this is useless.
This would be worse. This would be worthless in a fantasy world. Like this would be worthless in medieval Europe. What are you gonna do with this that you can't already do as a wizard? I'm upset. A 10th
All right,
level,
well,
yeah,
that's a zero power level there.
Zero power level.
And the second level one was.
In fact, I'm gonna call that a -1 power level for daring to take up a 6th level feature slot.
Wow, no, you can't do that. Still, it's just 0.
Oh my god.
At 10th, at 6th level, psionic wizards get resistance to bludgeoning, slashing, and piercing damage.
Non-magical.
Okay,
Wizards-
Remind me what the second level one was again, though.
Nothing. It's
second
just. It's basically flavor.
Nothing.
You can store your spellbook. You can store
your entire 2nd level feature is your spellbook is a tablet computer.
Yes, that's
That's
the
it.
whole thing.
It's flavor. Okay.
It's as far as I
Get a
can tell.
written
Yeah.
feature.
I mean, we could go try to get into like having backups of spellbooks and digitizing that and what that could mean, or we could move on with our lives.
Or you
Yeah.
could play it in a fantasy game where you just have another spell book. How expensive is a book in modern day America?
Well,
like,
well, then-
oh no, I have to spend $20 on a new mole skin.
well,
gives a
actually,
shit?
the copying spells actually does cost quite a bit, which is why most of them don't have it. Anyway, we're gonna move on.
That's true.
Wizards nearing complete ability to write any vaguely workable science fantasy content is kind of funny. If they just lose all ability to write content, if you add any science to the mix, I don't know what they are expecting. It's like they just don't know. Anyway, at 10th level, you can cast spells through networked electronic devices, including cameras, mobile phones, and computers. For example, if a creature is under the observation of a security camera and you can see the video feed from that camera on a computer, you can cast a spell into the computer and out through the security camera to target that creature.
Oh my god!
This is
It's
actually the
Order of
terrorism spell.
Scribes. Yeah,
Oh no.
it's Order of the Scribes too.
It's
If the
disa-
spell
it's a
requires the caster to
disaster.
be seen, the target must see you or a live image of you. What? Oh, no, I see. I get it now. If the spell requires the caster to be heard, the target must be able to hear you or live audio transmission. The spell's range is determined by the distance from you from your device and then from the target to its from you to your device and then from the target to its device. Okay, I get it now. You must be able to see or otherwise determine the location of the target. That can only be the target This feature can only be used to cast only spells that target specific creatures. Spells that affect an area are not subject to online casting. And you can use the number of times per day equal to your intelligence modifier. Oh, this is how you know this is early beans.
So you can only cast int modifier spells do the thing per day. Okay. Thank God. It's I'm so happy it's bad.
I was once again concerned that this would be a long range terrorism spell where you could cast fireball through a security camera. No, you can only cast dominate person through a security camera. This is like what the FBI does to you when they hack your webcam or whatever. They're like, "All right, dominate person." You're like, "Oh."
That's funny.
Is that what they do? I was not aware of this.
I go, oh.
Oh,
Jesus
What happens?
Christ.
That's what happens.
I mean, how good is that?
not very.
I don't know. It feels not that good, and it requires you to be able to have access to that stuff, which means you have to hack anyway. Like you just have to hack shit.
Remember all our beef with and arguments about the Order of the Scribes bullshit. This is that, except now you're really constrained by the environment.
This is that, but really bad also, because
Like,
at least Order of the Scribe,
really.
you can cast Fireball from your drone.
And you can only do it up to 5 times per day.
You know, I guess in this case you could literally use a drone to do this.
You also
Yes.
get this at 10th level, so.
And you get it at 10th level. And it says, and it suffers from range issues, because I think the device can't be. Oh no,
Yeah, the
you
device
from
has to be
it-
within range.
Yeah,
Because like presumably you're right next to your computer.
Well, what about the last feature?
You chained a device, you learn to imprint vestiges of your consciousness on electronic devices with significant computing power. When you cast a concentration spell, you can use a device whose computing power is equal to or greater than a tablet computer to maintain concentration of the spell on your behalf.
Equal to or greater than a tablet computer. What a qualifier.
The device must be held or worn by you to maintain this effect. If the device is destroyed, taken from you, dropped off, or turned off, the concentration ends. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. Okay, this is the first usable feature. Because it's just offload your concentration onto a physical device.
That's true.
Which you would
that's
like.
good.
That is a good
That
effect.
basically means once per day you can make one of your spells effectively permanent concentration, like effectively
Correct.
unbreakable. You still have to concentrate, or do you not? Can you concentrate on 2 things?
yes,
If your tablet's concentrating on one, you can concentrate on another.
I'm
right?
pretty sure
I
you
believe
can,
so.
That's pretty strong.
Yeah,
So
it's,
I
I
think
was
that
like,
is
it got a
actually
real
really good.
feature.
It gets
I'm upset.
It gets
Oh,
one
no.
real feature.
Now if it was a bad feature, we could have instantly put it in F tier.
This was gonna be the easiest thing to rate
it's
up until
a D tier class because it only gets it at 14th level. Easy. I'm
But
done.
that is a really strong.
It's a really
14th level.
strong 14th level feature.
Let me
Oh
put
wait,
it in
no,
here.
we have no, never mind. We're good. We have precedent for a nothing class that has a strong 14th level feature. Illusion Wizard.
Illusion.
Yeah.
Da, da, da,
We're
da,
good.
da.
It goes right to D. Easy win.
All right,
Oh
fair
my
enough.
god.
We're so good at this. Theurgy.
Oh, at long
Oh,
last. Finally, some good fucking food.
Ooh, theurgy.
Can I just give my vote to Dan? Can Dan just vote for me?
Yeah, I know.
Well,
we
no.
won't. I won't argue with Dan on this one. Let's go.
Theurgy is a really complicated one, and it requires you to finagle your way to a lot of things. But I'll read it. Divine Inspiration. When you choose this tradition at 2nd level, choose a cleric domain from the chosen deity's list of eligible domains. The knowledge and light domains are especially appropriate choices for a theurgist. I disagree. The 2 choices you want are the lightning one, Storm, and Zeal, because those are the ones that let you maximize spells.
Hey, did you like Evocation Wizards over channel? Do you want 2 of them?
Earlier. Oh,
my
not limited.
God.
Anyway, yeah. Continue.
Yeah, it's amazing. Let's see. Arcane Initiate. Beginning when you select this tradition at 2nd level, whenever you gain a wizard level, you can replace one of your wizard spells you add to your textbook. Spell. I'm clearly not focusing here. With a cleric domain spell for your chosen domain, the spell must be of a level for which you have spell slots. If you add, and here's the critical part. If you add all your domain spells to your spell book, all 10 of them, you can subsequently add any spell from the cleric spell list instead. The spell must still be of a level for which you have spell slots. And the reason, and I'll read the last one. Any cleric spell you gain from this feature is considered a wizard spell for you, but other wizards can't copy cleric spells from your spell book into their spell books. And any features you get in clerics that would use wisdom can use intelligence, according to the Twitter that we refer to sometimes. That second one is really critical because, for me, storm clerics, they don't get very good spells, but you really want to be able to choose all cleric spells so you can get the juicy ones. Like heal, mask cure wounds, or whatever other juicy stuff that you would enjoy having on a wizard that is broken. especially when you become an 18th level wizard and you get free spells, because free healing, infinitely spammable healing, is pretty cool. The problem is you have to take all the domain spells. So can you pull up the spell list for just two of the cleric domains, just Zeal and the Storm? Is it Storm?
Hey, would you look at
I always
that?
forget.
Zeal cleric. So you have to take the domain spells, right? Searing Smite and Thunder
Yes.
Smite are worthless. Magic
don't
Weapon,
have to.
worthless.
You don't have to, but in order to pick any cleric spell, you have to first take all 10 of these.
Right. But Zeal clerics also get Shatter, Haste, Fireball, Fire Shield, which are pretty decent.
Yeah,
Freedom of
yeah.
Movement, which is kind of whatever. Destructive Wave, which is kind of whatever as a wizard, and then Flame Strike, which is also very whatever as a
Ugh,
wizard.
yeah, super.
And then what is the other one?
Storm, lightning,
Tempest
thunder.
Tempest. It's Tempest. Cleric.
Thank you. Stop. Thank you. I was hoping someone would have saved me earlier.
Let's see.
It is not too
Tempest
tough.
gets Fog, Cloud, Thunder Wave, Gust of Wind, Shatter, Call Lightning, Sleet Storm, Control Water, Ice Storm, Destructive Wave, and Insect Plague. Yeah, there's
So this list
This is not a winner.
Not nearly as good. And if you remember, I had to take all of these, and it's not that big of a deal because as a wizard, you get plenty of spells, and you can always get more, especially in our campaign.
You
That is
did
true.
choose
If you
this
have
bit.
wizards, you can just if you have more than one wizard, you can really just like daisy chain off of each other.
Yeah. But
Okay.
as a Theurge wizard, you're going to want to take all these. So then you can get all the juicy cleric spells.
So I want to be very explicit here. The reason you're doing this, okay? You're taking the shitty cleric spells because once you have all of these, you can then choose a healing spell. Basically, you're doing all of this so that you can get healing word. Basically,
Basically.
so you can't. So you, despite the fact that you're a cleric wizard, you can't actually. Assuming you chose one of these domains, you can't actually choose
Healing spells till 10th level.
till 10th level. Okay,
You know
that's
what's
good
really
to
There
keep.
are other
funny?
domains you can choose. In fact, you could be a healing domain, a light or whatever the fuck it was called. If you want,
Life healing.
I just don't, yeah, sure, that's cool. There's a lot of options, but like they're all good. To be honest, like they're all good
Is
options.
there a domain with
So
a better
these are the
list? So
best.
this is
These are
this
the
is
best.
actually so this is really funny. It's complicated because once you take all of these spells, you get access to the whole cleric spell list. So actually, if you wanted to maximize what spells you could have as a wizard, you would want spells that are not on the wizard spell list and not on the cleric spell list, which
Oh, God.
leaves very few spells, and all of them are pretty bad.
Well, no, but we're missing the punchline here. Okay, the reason that that we're saying don't go, because like if you wanted healing spells, you would choose the life domain. The reason that Dan is explicitly advocating against it is not because of the spell list; it's because of the next feature, which we should now read.
Yes. It is Channel Arcana. Second level, you gain the ability to channel Arcana directly, arcane energy directly from your deity, using that energy to fuel your magic effects. Definitely makes sense. You start with two such effects: Divine Arcana and the Channel Divinity option granted at second level by your chosen domain. That's the one you're going to be using. You employ that Channel Divinity option by using your Channel Arcana effect. Channel Arcana is the not very interesting one.
It's down below. As a bonus action, you speak a prayer to control the flow of magic around you. The next spell you cast gains a +2 bonus to any attack roll you make for it or to its saving throw DC as appropriate. Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's bonus action to have +2 to attack, which is bad, or +2 to your save DC, which is good. That's
is
pretty
good.
solid.
That's good. But the real reason you want to take this is to take the Channel Divinity of the chosen domain. And the reason why you take Zeal domain, for instance, is because they get the Channel Divinity, which is called. Could you pull it up, please?
Yes, I can.
It is called Destructive
Tempest
Wrath.
gets
No,
Wait,
it's,
no. Yes.
Consuming Fervor.
Yes. There we go.
Consuming Fervor. At second level, you can choose your Channel Divinity to channel your Zeal into unchecked ferocity. When you roll fire or thunder damage, you can use your Channel Divinity to deal maximum damage instead of rolling. So instead of your fireball doing 28 damage on average, it does 48 damage every time.
Yep.
Always.
So
and-
plus two,
well-
any scaling on that? The thing is that plus two is matters a lot in the D20 scaling, because D20s and D20 rolls don't scale that overly much. So plus two is very powerful if you consider the fact that a plus two like mage weapon or like a wizard focus or whatever is a very rare item, and it stacks with any
Yeah.
other plus twos.
Oh, it's a good feature, yeah. But maximizing fireball just ends encounters before they start.
Just straight up.
It's nearly the power of casting 2 fireballs for every one. It's insane.
Okay,
Um,
Tribal, the reason we're still on wizards is because there's so many fucking wizards,
Yeah, there's 24.
and some of them are
Or
really
30?
fucky.
Are there 30? I don't
There's
know.
24. We did 8. We've done 8 each week.
So the channel divinity on a cleric is really good but clerics have kind of just shit tier spells, generally speaking.
Like Zeal gets
wizards-
fireball, which makes it good. Wizards
Yeah.
just
Well, wizards get all of them, right?
Are.
So wizards aren't just limited to maximizing fireball. You can go ahead and maximize that 7th level firestorm, which
you
is
can
70
maximize
damage.
half a meteor swarm.
You can, in fact, maximize half a meteor swarm. If you go do what Dan did and take the Tempest Cleric, you can maximize. You can maximize. What was it you did? It was Chain Lightning.
Ooh, yeah.
Chain Lightning Maximize does just a ridiculous amount of damage to 4 targets, and this is actually relevant. Okay, so 2 things of note here. There's another wizard that is capable of maximizing the damage of their spells. It's Evocation. They get it at 14th level, and they can maximize the damage of a spell of 5th level or lower one time for free, and then it chunks your HP every time after that.
Yeah. so
This
it's brutal.
one, you can maximize the damage of a slightly smaller set of really good spells. How many times? Is it eventually twice?
It starts
No,
at 1. At
it's-
6th level, it goes up to twice. And at 18th level, it's 3 times. And it's
All right.
every short rest. You get them all back.
Oh my god, you get them back on short rests. And you are not limited to 5th level or lower. You can maximize any level of spell if it has that damage type.
Maximize a 9th level meteor swarm, like you said earlier.
Yep.
Maximize half of it. But fucking do 8th level firestorm and maximize that shit. It's insane DPS. Like Evocation's up there for its ridiculous DPS options. This thing blows it out of the water with its DPS.
For
Yeah.
AoE. Evocation.
AoE.
for AoE.
Okay, for single
Evocation-
target, Evocation still wins.
Well,
Yes.
I was like, Evocation wins in terms of efficiency for a single target, because like Magic Missile has the inherent advantage of it is not dodgeable, it is
That's
not
true.
blockable, it is not reducible unless you know shield.
But
Specific.
then again, if you want to just like throw maximized fireballs at a single target, that's still as much
it's
damage as the
still
Evocations would.
so good, and
Yeah.
you get it so
Yeah.
much earlier.
So I guess single target, this thing is actually on par with Evocation as well, just not in efficiency.
Yeah.
It's the only place you'll really lose out.
Oh yeah, and that was the 2nd level features. Oh.
That was
Now here's the interesting thing is at 6th level you gain the chosen domain's 1st level benefits. So
Tribal-
here's the trouble with rating this one.
There
is
is-
we're gonna have to.
Tribal, there's one wizard that is the no fun wizard. It's called Order of Scribes, and fuck Order of Scribes.
Yeah, we won't get into it anymore.
they're
you
basically immortal.
you anyway, you have to rate cleric domains. So doing the power level of this is actually kind of difficult because you kind of have to look at the power level of clerics. And it also is worth noting there's a couple things. One, at 6th level you gain their 1st level benefits, which
Yep.
you get that way later. At 10th level you gain their 6th level benefits. And then at 14th level you gain their 17th level benefits.
Yeah,
What? Like
you get
I
them
understand.
earlier.
So clerics.
Clerics just have this fucking massive. Clerics have this massive gap between 6th and 17th level.
It's so funny. And so as a result, like you're playing a wizard that happens to steal from clerics. So you're like, all right, I get their stuff a little bit later. I get their stuff a little bit later. Wait, I get their capstone feature 3 levels sooner
Yeah.
than they get it? What? Like
It's so
Why?
good.
As an aside, we technically we'd have to rate all the clerics to do this properly, but like, what are the
Nah.
capstones for? What are for
So
these two?
simplicity-
Tempest
for
is a
yeah,
flying,
flying.
speed.
And
That's
Zeal
good.
is a Blaze of Glory.
Is Blaze
where
of
you
Glory, which is
delay death.
much not good as.
Okay.
It's not. It's really funny though.
It is very funny.
importantly. I believe both of these grant you heavy armor proficiency at 6th level. At first level for cleric,
God,
which
wait,
means-
what?
No.
you are a
No.
cleric with plate armor. No.
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 It's
There's no way you get
specified.
that, right?
You don't. Go back to the. Yes, they.
Let's see.
You do not get any weapon or armor proficiencies from the
Okay.
domain.
Good.
Okay. All right. Thank
well,
God.
You unfortunately then you get a pretty awful. If you took Zeal or Tempest, your first level feature that you get at level 6, pretty awful. Like if you take the attack action for Zeal, for instance, you can make an additional weapon attack as a bonus action. Up to 0 times equal their wisdom modifier, and that would be changed to your intelligence modifier.
Are there any other? Are there any other cleric domains worth mentioning? Like, if you wanted to be a healbot
Healing.
wizard for some reason, you could take the life domain,
Oh yeah.
and you would get some decent heals, and in addition
I
to that,
mean,
you would get their
Okay,
uber heal.
the thing is that healing is like the one domain that wizards just are not allowed to be in. So the fact
Yeah.
that Theurgy kind of fucks with that and says, okay, give the wizards healing also, is really just the biggest middle finger to clerics, and I think it's so funny.
It just means clerics just feel very obsolete.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is a flexible class.
It is the most flexible in
Subclass.
it's the
In the
most
game.
flexible subclass. Yeah, in the game, I think it probably goes that saying.
There's no
like-
subclass that touches every other or subclass of a different class.
Right. It's like it's literally you're a base wizard, and a lot of the times, at least for the PHP wizards, a lot of their features are kind of like whatever. If you look at our list, it appears that 4 of the base wizard subclasses that are in the PHP are in D tier. One of them is in C tier, and only one of them is in A tier. So like it's not really like the opportunity cost of like going for another class, of poaching another subclasses is like actually kind of appealing. And then the fact that you also get access to cleric spells, which is the one domain of spell you're not normally allowed to touch. It's like you are the spellcaster TMCR.
Yeah. You basically just do everything.
Also, you can maximize your damage, which is like really good.
Yeah.
Suddenly you are better than every base PHP class in the book.
Yeah. But please let's not focus on covering every because there's like 20 cleric domains. So
Oh,
we
yeah.
can't really
Yeah, I don't
cover
care
them all.
about that. Let's just refer
Um,
to the tier list next time.
Yeah,
I wanted to caveat that and put
Yeah,
out
for
there
sure.
that
it is.
There's a
super
lot of
not
potential
customizable.
there. But I mean that's not for us to look at. It's like we know about what it means when a wizard gets cleric features.
But
Like you could
basically,
really finagle it out to find the most optimal, but it's probably like Zeal or Tempest.
yeah, but basically, there's not much else to talk about, to be honest, because you have to look
Yep.
at the domains, and that's
We-
it. So
we-
how would you rank a cleric that can do lots of stuff, but arguably the most important one? So we should probably rank the most powerful one. Is how do we rank a cleric that can maximize tons of damage
I
and
was gonna say,
things
if you-
up to
if
3
you-
times per short rest and can cast healing spells?
I know you mean wizard.
Yeah, sorry.
But if you
Oh.
had a cleric that had all the wizard spells, that would be like a triple S tier cleric.
yeah, but there's a reason that we do it per class for exactly that reason.
Yeah.
Hi. So this guarantees it's above evocation. I've run into an issue.
Guaranteed. I'm in the same boat. I don't know.
And also,
Dan, you're-
we have to take into account the 18th. I've talked about it, but the 18th level, we can't understate that infinite casts of a healing spell is something that they did not want to put in the game.
Yes, correct.
Honestly,
Did
it's
somebody
not
say
that.
free bonus action?
Honestly, it's not that broken, in my
Well,
opinion.
I think in campaigns where downtime might be more
Oh,
important.
Oh, you're right. You
It's
can
not.
do it out
It's
of
not
combat.
a.
I
It's not a
forgot.
combat thing. It's
No,
just
there is a
any-
very
Yes,
specific
you're
reason
right.
why anytime there has been essentially free healing or like
Yep.
extremely efficient healing, like what is that like the
the
healing
cheese-
spirit?
The hot. Yeah, the hot.
Yeah. There's a
When we're
reason
at
why
the
anytime
conga line healing.
yeah, there's a reason why any of those abilities that have existed have since been patched out of the game.
No.
And this obviously just makes that exist. So like they very specifically have always stated that they don't want healing cantrips for that reason. And oops, it's a healing oops, you turned healing word into cantrip.
So let's compare it. I don't think this is as broken or powerful as Lore Mastery, although it does do things in that Lore Mastery cannot do. Like
Also
it does
true.
more burst than Lore Mastery can do,
I think
and I think
so. The
and
thing is, it does
heals.
more burst than Lore Mastery, but Lore Mastery was never about the burst necessarily, right?
Lore Mastery was flexibility and everything.
It was far more, it was far more about the flexibility and also the ability
Range,
to
DCs.
yeah, all of the stuff that
Damage.
allows you to use effects that wizards have access to, a lot of which bypass the numerical structure of the game.
And Lore Mastery actually also had the ability to just add like 11 force damage to their fireballs if they had the spell slots for it, which makes them 39 39 damage fireballs as opposed to 48. They're pretty close to getting there.
They really did just have everything, didn't they? My God.
Yeah, disgusting.
Okay, well now we're at a problem.
So I think it has to be S or a lore hold tier. And
I agree.
Agreed.
And I believe it is above Blade Singer because I think
it is in Lorehold tier.
I think so too,
So
because
here is
a wizard that doesn't die, that's fantastic. A wizard that blows everything the fuck up and can heal and all that shit, a little more than fantastic.
so that was my point too, which is that as unkillable as an Order of Scribes wizard is, it is at the end of the day still a base wizard most of the time. Whereas a Theurgy wizard gets access to so much and so many powerful features, right? Like, it's not just that you get access to cleric spells, which would already be really good for a wizard. It's that you get access to cleric spells and you can maximize spells that clerics were never meant to maximize.
If we put Theurgy in that tier, it fits so perfectly. We have this cutoff line of what should be allowed in the game, and it stops at Blade.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like Blade Singer is so strong, but I think it should be allowed.
Agreed.
I think so too.
Everything above, I don't think it should. It's a little.
No, you're pushing the boundaries there, huh?
I mean,
Just a bit.
this is the thing, right? Is that in the broken tiers, the Lorehold and Lore Master tier, only 1 out of 4 of these has ever been printed. And for some reason, it's Order of Scribes.
Which is the most weird one, because it's like everything else, all its other features are like, it's fine until you just think about it a little bit. It's not intentional. It's not intentional.
Yeah, well, they can almost get away with it solely because it would be so obnoxious to play that way that I bet no one would do it. Like, it would be such a pain that you'd
I mean,
be
but it would
the
turn
best
the
way.
wizard. Yeah.
The best way to play Order of Scribes is to effectively not play the game and not allow your party to play the game. And
The best way to
people
play
won't allow that.
Order of
wait.
Scribes is to just make sure that your DM is the only one never having fun, because then you take an Order of Scribes. And then you just build your party for extreme range, right? So you take like rangers that have like the sharpshooter and like double, and then you take warlocks with the spell sniper feature,
Or-
elder sniper.
Even if you like tried your absolute hardest to not like metagame Orders of the Scribes, you'd still just at the start of every combat, like, guys, I'm with you. See, I'm not hiding. At the start of every combat, you'd run away. Like
I'm telling you that people wouldn't do that. Is what I'm saying.
What purpose would they have to stand still instead of using 30 feet to move backwards?
They wouldn't, is what I'm saying, is they just wouldn't use the class to its full potential, and that's okay. Not everyone does
They
it.
wouldn't
Not
hang
everyone.
on that wall
Not
for
every.
free.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Not
think that's fair.
potentially not.
I think there are a lot of people that will just look at a feature like that and like Sean initially just be like,
Yeah.
I don't know what you would use this for.
Yeah, it's like
Oh my God.
I don't want to. Why would I could just cast it from
Okay.
where I am? Why would I want
You
to?
don't want them to like craft an iron bubble to put you in?
No.
Carry you around?
Yes. I didn't say I wouldn't want to, but I'm saying that
I
that's
was
how
born with
people
paper
would play
skin
it.
and glass bones.
You must not take me out of my shelter.
Oh my god, you become like fucking Krang.
You hand them here. Take my poop bucket. It is filled.
Ugh. I hate that.
That's the worst. We're gonna move on to transmutation now.
Sure are. Transmutation wizard. You get transmutation spells bargain bin half price. Minor alchemy at second level. You temporarily alter the physical properties of one non-magical object, changing it from one substance to another. You can you perform a special alchemical procedure on one object composed entirely of wood, stone, but not a gemstone, iron, copper, silver, transforming it into a different one of those materials. For each 10 minutes you spend performing the procedure, you can transform to 1 cubic foot of material. Oh my god. After 1 hour until you lose concentration, as if you were concentrating on a spell, the material reverts to the original substance. So you can take 1 cubic foot per 10 minutes spent.
So 1 foot by 1 foot by 1 foot.
Which would I think probably realistically the maximum you would get out of it is 5 cubic feet of material, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, no, it wouldn't work like that, would it?
What?
I don't know, but I don't think it matters that much. Well,
No. I think the 1 hour starts when you're done.
well, then you can transform an infinite amount.
I think so. Right?
One non-magical object, maybe. You know what? That
Well,
could
I mean,
be.
you'd have to find an object big enough to. Wait.
Yeah, I guess so. You know,
Honestly,
maybe you're
okay.
right. Maybe you're right, actually. Maybe it
I'm
does
pretty sure it's
start after.
infinite. See that mountain? I'm gonna make it gold.
You spend the next like 10 years of your life making the mountain out of like you wouldn't be able to make it out
And
of
that lasted
gold,
1
right?
hour.
Because it would be
Silver, whatever.
yeah, wood, stone, iron, copper, or silver. If it reverts in that order, it'd be really funny. Yeah, can you imagine if you just like had like a circle of like cubic feet of cubic like wood, and you just like turned 1 foot at a time into like metal, and then like by the time you got to the front, it was like reverted already. Like, oh no, I have to do it again. Yeah, I mean,
Like, can you just turn into a door into
this
dirt?
this is one of those abilities that is so difficult to rank
Okay.
because it has 0 combat utility. It's 100% like story stuff, and it just depends on what the fuck is going on, and that's just impossible to account for.
Like sure, if you spend half an hour in front of someone's door, and then just turn it into muck, like.
So
and then in an hour it turns back into wood in a muck puddle. Like,
yeah, no. So the problem is that it's
That's
all
cool,
rigid
but-
materials, and they all turn into more rigid materials, right? Like the best you could do is turn a wooden door into copper, and then melt the copper door, and then it would reform into
Yeah.
a wooden pile.
Oh, I was gonna say, if you're like trapped behind iron bars, you can turn that into
Turn them
wood.
into wood,
And then
yeah,
smash
which would
them.
obviously be much easier to break.
Yeah.
wait,
And by the way, the general consensus, it seems like, although there's not been a debatable. But
Jeremy!
in Dungeons
I
and
agree.
Dragons, you can.
if you make the hinges wood and smash them, yeah, that would totally.
Oh
work.
yeah, there you go. The consensus seems to be, at least in Stack Overflow, although there's not been much debate because I don't think it fucking matters, that you're limited by the 1 hour. It starts happening pretty much immediately, so you're gonna get stuck by 6 cubic feet of material. I don't think they're gonna let you turn a mountain into gold.
No,
Sad. Okay, well,
no fun wild.
this, I mean,
It's whatever.
it's
Sorry,
it's
sorry. Does that mean it's so dismissive? But
It's pretty close to in
It's
modern
fun.
D&D. This would largely be a ribbon feature.
Yes.
but this is
Correct,
old
yes.
subclass, so this is their only feature. So they don't really.
Well,
get much
no,
of this
okay, so you say that, but it's a second level feature for which most wizards don't even have anymore.
I what?
Really?
No, they normally get a second level and the other one.
No, yeah,
Right?
okay. So Blade Singer gets Blade Singing, Silver Quill gets Silvery Barbs.
Artificer
they
gets artificing.
No, you're right. Abjuration gets
They all get the copy one and one other.
Yeah, but they're all a lot of them are very bad. Divination is really good. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. 6th level, you spend 8 hours creating a transmuter stone that stores transmutation magic. You can benefit from the stone yourself or give it to another creature. A creature gains a benefit of your choice as long as the stone is in the creature's possession. When you create the stone, choose the benefit from the following options: dark vision out to a range of 60 feet. Increase to speed of 10 feet while the creature is unencumbered. Proficiency in Constitution saving throws. Resistance to acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage. Your choice when you choose this benefit. Each time you cast a transmutation spell of 1st level or higher, you can change the effect of your stone if the stone is on your person. If you create a new transmuter stone, the previous one ceases to function.
Well,
I think you will probably consistently
con
have
save.
proficiency in con saves.
You'll take con saves. Movement doesn't matter too much if you're just sitting on the back line. Dark vision, I mean, I guess take that if you manage to not get it and it's important.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you can change this every day is nice. So, like, we know for a fact we are up against a dragon that will breathe fire. I will choose the fire one.
Yeah, you can switch it whenever you cast a spell. So
There's some value in that.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you can switch it whenever you cast a spell?
1st level or higher spell.
I was just thinking of reaction, cast shield, and then like making yourself resistant to fire, but then you might as well just cast absorb element.
You might just cast Absorb Element.
Yeah.
and oh my god,
Unlucky.
wait, that's so funny.
Although if you just got hit, you could use your reaction to cast shield to give yourself proficiency in Constitution saving throw if you're about to make a saving throw. But you probably would have that on anyway.
Yeah. I suspect you would.
Yeah. Ugh. I mean, I guess if you're
Well,
fighting
it's
like
still
a
good.
It's fine.
dragon or something, I don't know. Proficiency in
Right.
con saves, like you'll take proficiency in con saves. Honestly,
It's worth a feat. It's worth half a feat. Take it back. Yeah, this is worth half a feat. It's not very good, but it's something.
yeah.
Oh boy.
At 10th level, you add the polymorph spell to your spell book if it's not there already.
It's gonna be there.
It's gonna be there. And what's even worse is if you want to have the efficiency of adding an extra spell, it means you don't have
You
polymorph
don't.
until 10th level.
You don't care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't care.
Shits.
Because
You
you're
can-
a wizard. You can just add.
Yeah, you can
Spells.
cast polymorph
doesn't-
without expending a spell slot. When you do so, you can only target yourself and transform into a beast whose challenge rating is 1 or lower. Once you cast polymorph in this way, you can't do so again until you finish a short or
Right.
long rest.
I guess so.
Although you can still cast it normally using an available spell slot. Like,
Would have been so funny
do you
if that
care-
last one wasn't there.
this is like,
Are you running out of 4th level spell slots at this level? Like maybe.
maybe, but like, I think, like, this is also just, and I know we don't talk about party comp that often, other than like, just that you will have the broad
the druid
roles
now.
filled, right? It's like you're a worse version of the druid now for some reason.
It's
like-
how often do you run out of 4th level spell slots where you also wish you could transform yourself into a beast whose challenge rating is 1 or lower?
Right, exactly.
The number of times I want.
If you're in a situation where you need to like transform into an animal to like infiltrate or whatever, you usually have enough time to just take a rest.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have enough time to take a long rest, you can take a short rest and use your whatever
Yeah.
recovery.
Yep.
Arcane recovery.
Yep. And even if all of that fails, oh no, you're down a single 4th level spell slot at worst. At absolute worst.
Yeah, it's
Boo-hoo.
a pretty bad future.
Yes,
yeah,
it is.
That's not very good. At 14th level, you can use your action to consume the reserve of transmutation magic stored within your transmuter stone in a single burst. When you do so, choose one of the following effects. The transmuter stone is destroyed and cannot be remade until you finish a long rest. You gain major transformation. You can transmute one non-magical object no larger than a 5-foot cube into another non-magical object of similar size and mass and of equal value or less. They really don't let you. They really don't let you make gold, huh?
You are not allowed to make money with this without scamming someone.
No.
That's
To be
the whole
honest.
point of alchemy, bitches.
Well, honestly,
Well,
I don't
no, the whole
hate it.
point is scamming, so maybe they're fitting the theme very well.
Yeah, actually, I think it's kind of fitting.
No, historically, alchemy was they thought it was real.
I know, but then there was a lot of historical
And then-
scammer alchemists.
I was gonna say no. Historically, alchemy was also a scam.
Yeah.
I guess that's fair.
Historically,
I don't
the
know.
only thing they ever provided to people was like fool's gold and stuff painted because they didn't want to get their heads chopped off.
I guess that's fair. Can this one turn the door into dirt? Yes.
No, it's got to be similar mass.
Yeah. You turn into
Yeah,
a similar
mass
mass of
doesn't change.
dirt.
Changes its form.
A pile of dirt that has the same mass. You're
And
right.
dirt is less value than wood.
True.
Hey, that's debatable.
I think this would be very funny because
I'm
you
gonna
get into a lot of
judge
debates
it.
about
I'm gonna
what
judge-
materials are worth. You're like,
my
actually,
God.
this device is made out of copper. Iron is a lot less, gold is I don't know.
Excuse
I'm
me.
gonna
In the
start
logo,
with an extremely
know, man.
rare mahogany wood so that I can transform it into gold or something.
I'm sorry.
bullshit.
I'm sorry. You can't transform that
iron
you
into
can't
copper, right.
into copper anymore because the exchange rate has shifted due to the problem in the mines over in that city over there, and as a result, copper is
Yes.
has gone way up in
Okay,
value.
yeah, this is
I'm gonna
also
flood
the
this
thing,
economy
right?
with gold so I can transform it into gold because gold is now worthless, and then bring it at some. No.
This is a problem with Dungeons and Dragons. And I think D&D economy is always such a fucking problem. Like
What?
the valuation. It's like
Abort,
it's so
abort.
it's just so funny, and I think they have to write things in a specific way because of the way that the game is balanced, right? But I think people don't realize this about the game, which is that like it makes a lot of assumptions about things, like about how much stuff is worth. Like a diamond is worth this much amount of money, but what does that amount of diamonds look like in a D&D world, right? If you're in a world where diamonds are plentiful and there's no artificial limitation on diamonds, isn't 300 gold pieces worth of diamonds like a mountain of diamonds?
It makes a bunch of assumptions about economics in the sense that it makes none and just sort of assumes that economics doesn't exist. And I'm honestly, that's probably for the best, but has some really, really funny
It
consequences.
has really funny implications and kind of implies a little bit that they think things have inherent value, which is not how stuff works. Anyway,
but
That's
the
not,
alternative-
What else can you
I
do?
love how you describe that. That's not how stuff works. Because you're so right.
I don't want to get into. I don't want to distract.
Okay,
too
yeah,
much. Well,
Panacea.
okay.
You
Okay,
remove
wait,
all
okay, wait.
curses, diseases, and
The-
poisons
yeah.
affecting a creature that you touch with a transmuter stone. The creature regains
Panacea?
all its hit points. What?
Panacea.
Panacea?
All its hit
Panacea?
points. That's worth using once per long
That
rest.
is that
as
is
an action.
actually worth using.
And they are. What's the range on it?
I think it's touch.
I bet it's touch.
Touch. Yeah.
Yep.
Poison. That's whatever. I don't know. Not convenient, but like that's cool. I
Does
guess.
it take an action?
Gotta give D&D a little Marxism. It's all labor value. True.
Yeah, but, like,
it's an action to consume.
That's solid.
I think that's
yeah.
an action for a
Getting your barbarian back up to full health.
Like
Yeah.
the thing is, this is technically more value than a 7th level heal spell, because a 7th level heal spell only gives 70 hit points. This potentially gives like 200 if you target a barbarian at 0.
Yeah. I mean,
At max
it's
level,
good.
but yeah, it's
I mean-
it's insane.
Ideally,
it's
you have
good.
someone else to be doing the healing, but I believe. No, I was gonna say maybe someone else could do it for you, but no, you can use your
You
action
have to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is like an oh shit button, and like the thing is that you can choose one of these whenever you
Yeah.
need to eat your rock, basically, right? So like
Yeah.
if you don't need
I like
it, you
the-
can do any of the other things, which I think this is really funny about major transformation is that it's permanent, but it also eats your rock.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which means
you
you're
have
no longer proficiency in concept.
Yeah.
So you have to take a long rest and then spend 8 hours making your new rock. Anyway, restore life. You can cast the Raise Dead spell on a creature you touch with a transmuter stone without expending a spell slot or needing to have the spell in your spellbook. I
Nice
guess
to have
that's
as an option, I guess.
nice to have as an option. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like it takes anything away from you to have it because it's not like you have to
Yeah.
choose it from a list of options that you like always have
Yeah.
to have, right?
Finally,
Yeah.
I hate these fucking choose option bullshit.
And then there's Restore Youth, which
love
I think
this
is the
one. This one's
funniest
great.
one.
This is
Yeah.
You
the
touch the
greatest.
transmuter stone to a willing creature. That creature's apparent age is reduced by 3d10 years to a minimum of 13. This effect does not extend the creature's
Yeah.
lifespan.
They could be a 13-year-old, but they might die of old age next year.
Does Raise Dead have a component cost?
Oh, I think it does. I think it's a diamond cost.
Let me check.
500 gold.
500
Yeah.
gold pieces. Hold on.
Neat.
Let's see.
500 gold.
I assume that they want that it still costs this if you use it this way, just because it's
Transmuter
I don't think
an
so.
old one.
Raised dead.
Hold on, Dan. It's
Gold
an old
cost.
5e
You're right, and it
subclass.
doesn't say. It says without expending a spell slot or needing to have the spell in your spellbook. It should have mentioned there no reagents if it wanted to be no reagents.
As stated by Jeremy Crawford in this sage advice answer, casting a spell requires all its components unless the trait or feature says otherwise.
I knew
So
it.
it still requires the 500
You still need the
gold.
I mean, it's not like that big of a deal. It just means that
Yeah.
you also carry 500 gold pieces worth of diamonds in
Yeah.
addition to your cleric.
At 14th level, it's not a big deal. But
Fine. Yeah.
it's just nice to have that option. But like as a feature, the biggest one here is the health one, definitely.
Yeah.
The major transformation, again, you have to be creative, and you can do some cool stuff, I'm sure. But only once per long rest can you do that.
and it like totally it hurts you in combat for the rest of the day. So I
You might literally at
careful.
this point have already taken Resilient Con and just be moving 10 feet faster constantly, just for the purpose that you know you're going to lose that.
Yeah, that's
well,
probably
that's what I'm
true.
saying is I don't think you're going to use major transformation very often. You're going to not want to use it, I think, in most cases, unless you have a very specific pre-planned thing. But the
All
other two
right.
are great in a pinch.
It's not that big of a deal to lose your Transmuter Stone benefits. I don't think those benefits are very good at that point.
I would still be
Assuming
grumpy.
You already have Resilient Con.
Where-
If you do it, it means you can't full heal someone, Dan.
Where do we
Yeah.
put this? I'd like to
That's true.
throw my hat into the ring for D tier.
Almost.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It almost feels like F to me though.
It almost feels like
Um,
F, but at the same time, I don't necessarily want to discount Minor Alchemy as being completely worthless because I think a
I do.
creative player can have fun with it.
I think. I agree.
I think Shape Changer's not that useful. Major
hold on.
Transmuter
Sean
Panacea
says,
is
like-
good, but you get it really
Josh.
late.
Josh.
What?
I agree that minor alchemy can be fun. I don't think it increases the power level at all.
Correct.
At all. I think it's a 0 power level and almost a ribbon outside
Okay.
of
However,
combat.
consider this: if we put it in D tier, then that's another base PHP class that goes in
No, no,
D
no.
tier.
I wasn't done.
We're being objective here.
I wanted to dunk on. I just wanted to dunk on minor alchemy and shape changer. But the other two are honestly very good for D tier. Like I
don't know.
unironically.
I don't know about very good. Like,
Well,
resistance to
I-
one damage type.
I think
half
Oh,
a
no.
feat for a
Proficiency in
What do you mean
con
persistence?
or
No,
resistance.
proficiency in con. Yeah.
Yeah, proficiency in con, I would easily take over whatever the fuck illusion or
What wizard-
necromancy gets.
What wizard like at 6th level hasn't already taken like Resilient Con? Like, I don't know.
I did
I
a
don't know.
number of
Maybe
them.
they probably just take like int, but like it's still like
Yeah.
it's
I don't know, but again, it means it's the power level of a feat,
Yeah,
Which-
a free feat. I
half
actually
a feat,
think.
which is like
half a feat.
Oh, 'cause
Resilient
of the
Con
plus
gives
one
you
con.
plus
only one
con.
foot, you say.
Yes, half a feat.
And it can full heal. I think that saves it from F. Although
I really, yeah. I mean, I think that full heal is good too.
The full heal is
Where-
good. If it wasn't for the full heal, maybe it would be.
Let me look-
I could see a D tier then.
all right, we could just drop it in D, but conjuration's worse than it, right?
Okay, yeah. What does conjuration get?
That's I think what we should look at.
Conjuration.
Maybe we should
Didn't they
look
have
at
the 14th
conjuration.
level like beast?
30
get 30 more
temporary hit
health?
points per summon.
Yeah.
Maybe it's worse than conjuration. Actually, maybe you're right.
No, minor conjuration.
No.
Well, no, they both get almost nothing at 2. At 6th level, action to teleport.
Awful. Useless.
Within 30
really
feet.
bad.
Um,
10th level, you can't break your concentration, which is better than proficiency in Constitution saves.
while
Potentially.
concentrating on conjuration spells.
Which for
Which
this
is
specific
what
niche
you
you
will
would
be
actually
doing
use.
only anyway.
Yeah, but does that mean it's good? Oh,
No, that's why it's an F tier.
Yeah.
I guess not.
and the 30 hit point one.
literally like you're waiting till 10th level before you have a feature when you're playing Conjuration.
Yeah, and it's not even like the most. It's not even like the most incredible feature, quite
Because
frankly.
when I talked about Focus Conjuration, whenever you're playing a Conjuration like spammer, you're just in the back hiding behind a wall. You're kind of like the book wizard. You're just like you go in your ditch and you cry until the combat's over and your wolves come back with their bloody mouths and shit. Like you're not gonna get hit, so your concentration being broken isn't really that much of an issue.
Yes, exactly. So this definitely belonged in F tier. Do you think transformation is a tier above this?
Maybe
Transmutation.
They get a little bit of a benefit. They get a small benefit sooner. They get a more
Yes.
interest. I think they get
I think their sixth
about
level is
equally
better.
interest. Yeah,
Their
it is
sixth
better.
level's
That's what I'm saying.
better.
They're small
They're-
benefit.
Honestly, even their 10th level, I think, is probably better.
Maybe.
Even though, objectively speaking, not being able to break concentration on conjuration spells is good. I don't know. I
Have them both-
don't know. My brain is broken.
I have them both
Well-
rated as equal at as for their 10th level feature in my head.
Just give them D tier because a full heal has a lot of potential, and they have slightly more early game than these F tiers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, also, like, it is important to note that, like, it's not just that, like, a full heal is good. It's that a full heal is good, and also you're a wizard, and wizards don't get healing.
Mhm.
And a full
Also-
heal is, like, an amount of healing that is actually relevant over,
Full-
like, one heal, right?
A full. I do want to say a full heal on a touch effect is very
Yeah.
very painful.
Yeah, but if you as a wizard are having to do a full heal, it means you're in oh shit mode already.
I know, which means you might not be able to get away with
Your
that
party
touch
will be
spell.
very, very happy that when you misty step in and full heal them.
I
Full
mean,
heal them
okay.
and then die the next turn. Yes.
To be fair,
Sure,
also,
but it might be worth it to die.
Might be worth it.
also, if you have no one else that can raise, you can technically cast Raise Dead.
I honestly think the sixth
Yeah,
level
I
is
guess.
a good bit better solely because you can switch it when you cast a spell. Like at least you can adjust to the
That's true.
environment you need. I think
Yeah,
I
but
think
if
it's
you
I
really-
think it's
maybe-
not half
maybe
a feat. I
listen,
think it's a full
Maybe
feat,
you're a
at
human
least.
and you just have to give yourself dark vision until you find an enemy and you go, oh shit, you cast like shield or whatever, and you're just like
Yeah.
suddenly proficient in con saves.
Yeah, or
That's the
or
point where you
see
need
the-
dark vision.
Yeah, no, it's the dark vision one's worthless, but the resistance to the fire damage that you're about to, that you know you're going to take because you saw it cast fire, breathe fire on someone, that is worthwhile switching on the spot, and you don't require much prior knowledge, just an action.
You don't have to.
Yeah, this switching
bother.
is
You don't have to bother absorb elementing.
this is one of the
I guess.
least
Uh,
painful
that's true.
methods of swapping an
It's
an
fun.
ability.
I like it.
I
I
personally,
wish they got
I
more
think,
at second level because the sixth
Yeah.
level is pretty nice. It's I mean
personally,
fun, I
think
guess.
more classes should have things like this that you can just reactively switch to.
Yeah, it's so too many things are like you can change this on a long rest,
Yeah, the amount of planning
and
required.
then you only end up using one.
It's a D&D problem in general. Let's talk about war magic.
Oh,
The
we're
last
really
one.
we're really gonna end on this one.
Ending on a
Okay.
high note, aren't we?
This will take no time at all.
So
Read
this,
through the whole thing.
A variety of arcane colleges specialize in training wizards for war. The tradition. This is what you meant by everything, right?
No, it's not. I apologize. What I actually meant was
All
no, actually go one. I meant all the features in one go, but actually we do need to go into power surges, so I take back what I said completely.
Oh, hold on. Actually, I should read this part. In great battles, a war mage often works with evokers, abjurers, and other types of wizards. Evokers, in particular, sometimes tease war mages for splitting their attention between offense and defense. A war mage's typical response: "What good is being able to throw a mighty fireball if I die before I can cast it?" Which is really funny because it's like it's meant to be like this, like, oh, slay queen, clapback, but like actually being able to cast a mightier fireball is better than whatever war magic gets.
Also, why would he say that to the abjuration wizard? The abjuration wizard would be like, "Duh,
No.
add more
evokers.
defense, idiot."
Evokers. It's the evocation
okay.
wizard that
Evokers
he's
are
saying.
the
Oh,
evokers,
okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. A
What is
mighty
it? This-
fireball.
No, it really this is like what happens when like people who do CrossFit look at powerlifters and are like, "Why do you do that? Don't you know that it's better if you train your whole body?" That's it. This just in war mages are CrossFit people. Fucking
God.
freaks. Anyway, arcane deflection. At second level, you have learned to weave your magic to fortify yourself against harm. When you are hit by an attack or you fail a saving throw, you can use your reaction to gain a +2 bonus to your AC against that attack or a +4 bonus to that saving throw. When you use this feature, you can't cast spells other than cantrips until the end of your next turn.
The end of your next
Oh,
turn.
it's so brutal.
I forgot
Oh.
about that. In fact, the AC is worthless because shield exists, but +4 to saving
+4
throws
to
can
saving
be
throws is
worthwhile.
actually really good.
Is it worth being a nothing person for the next next turn? And
I am uncertain.
Debatable. That is debatable. Dan, believe it or not, the answer can very well be yes.
It
if
could,
it's a
because
dominate person.
There are situations in which actually yes, correct.
there's some situations, but unless you're fighting against a very debilitating or like lethal saving throw, actually even on lethal, I would rather die and get back up so I can cast spells than survive and be useless.
It's not even guaranteed success either. It's only +4. You
No.
might still fail.
+4 is still
But
good though. It's
there's
almost
uses.
advantage.
Yeah, it's true, and it stacks with advantage. So the saving throw one is powerful, and then you get kind of just like punished for it. I will say at low levels you will probably be cantripping that turn anyway. It's probably not the biggest loss,
Yeah,
but at
that's
high
probably
levels
true.
this hurts.
Yeah.
At low levels,
Okay.
this means that a lot of times you just have +2 AC, which I mean you'll honestly just take.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize there's no limit on it. That's funny. That's actually
Yeah.
really funny.
The only limitation is that you are unable to cast regular spells, right?
They
Which is really problematic for a wizard unless you don't have spells.
Yeah, but it is interesting that I think this is like one of the only features that doesn't have a resource attached explicitly and just punishes you in a different way. It's kind of interesting.
Okay, second level also your keen ability to assess tactical situations allows you to act quickly in battle. You can give yourself a bonus to your initiative rolls equal to int mod. Haha!
I like this feature a lot. Anyway, it's
Starting,
good. 6th level.
Power Surge, starting at 6th level, you can store magical energy within yourself to later empower your damaging spells. You can store a maximum number of Power Surges equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum 1. Whenever you finish a long rest, your number of Power Surges resets to 1. Whenever you successfully end a spell with Dispel Magic or Counterspell, you gain 1 Power Surge as you steal magic from the spell you foiled. If you end a rest with no Power Surges, you gain 1 Power Surge. Once per turn, when you deal damage to a creature or object with a wizard spell, you can spend 1 Power Surge to deal extra force damage to that target. The extra damage equals half your wizard level.
So 3 damage
3 damage, and it's
to
contingent.
one target.
3 damage to one target once, and it's and recharging it is contingent on dispelling magic or counterspelling.
Oh,
Yep.
There's so much convoluted bullshit around power surges, and then they
Yeah.
end with what it does, which is like nothing.
Which is it's just a little bit more damage.
It kills me.
Even at-
this
even at
feature is
20th
so
level.
funny.
Even at 20th level, you blast someone for like 10 damage once per long rest. Once per
It's-
long rest.
Oh my god, it does nothing at 20. It's this
or
feature
short
is
rest, actually.
always funny to me without fail because of just how it's laid out
Yeah.
and how convoluted it is, and you need to
Ugh.
do a niche thing to recharges
Yeah,
outside of the long rest, and
it's-
then you get nothing from it. It's
This
so
is
funny.
so painful because like
It matters not.
I almost wish they'd just leaned into making it more of a dispel counterspell like thing instead of just like a redirect thing. Like just it's
It's-
pain. It means
is
you
better-
essentially it means you essentially get 3 damage once per long rest.
Yeah. This is better than I remember, though.
It is. It is better than I remember. I remember the number being obscenely small.
Power
this is-
Surge in the Unearthed Arcana was when you force multiple creatures to make a saving throw against the damage of one of your spells, you can increase the spell's damage by rolling 2 more of its damage dice. This increase occurs only on the turn you cast the spell once, and then you can use it once per short rest.
So fireball.
So your
would be
fireball could
2d6.
do 7 more damage, which once per short rest, which is it's alright. It's alright.
this
This
I
is
know-
under This is under Unearthed Arcana Wizards Revisited, where Theurgy was introduced.
There's
this
winners and losers, I see.
this was also in Skag, I believe.
Was it in Skag?
Was it?
Am I wrong?
No,
Maybe
I think,
it wasn't
I
in
think
Skag.
only had Bladesinger, right?
Yeah, you're right. It couldn't have. Well,
When was War Magic first made?
it feels so old, right?
It does feel
It
old.
does,
I'm
but it
pulling
might
up
not be as
Skag.
old as we
Maybe it's not. I keep forgetting the Xanathars is kind of old now.
Xanathar's is
Hmm.
old now.
That's
Tasha's is the
freaky.
new hotness. It's actually
Yeah, it's
Tasha's is getting
true.
old now.
Skag only has Blade Singer. You're right. Oh my god. They really put
what's
this in
funny is-
Xanathars?
This so far, War Magic is not as bad as I remember.
Me
Oh
neither,
my God.
actually. I really thought it was way more atrocious. Maybe
I
we're
mean,
just
this
better
is-
at the game now. Hold on. Hold
No,
on.
no,
Can
no.
I just take a brief moment? Because while looking up War Magic, I found this article that says why 5e War Magic is so good. How strong is it?
Oh my!
Let's see.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't go so far.
No. I want to just like
Yeah.
stop
Let's-
them
let's
right there.
do
And
this
also,
first.
we should do this, but I really think I don't know why you're saying that Power Surge is better than you remembered when it's just a trash tier feature. I don't.
I never said those words. Thank you very much. Don't put words in my mouth. I said War Magic is better.
Oh,
War
okay.
Mage. I said
Yes, War Magic is better than I remember it. Also,
War Magic. I remembered War Magic having 2 decent ones and 2 bad ones.
I always remember
Now,
just having
yeah.
4 trash tier abilities.
Extra. You will use the saving throw on. Sure. That's occasionally gonna save like your whole party, maybe possibly a little bit. Initiative on initiative bonus.
Okay.
Cool. How much was Power Surge damage? Approximately, it's 3, and then
It's
it
like
goes
3
up
at 6th level. It goes up.
It's half your wizard level.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once
So,
per short rest. Pretty
At
tiny.
10th level, when you maintain concentration on a spell, you have a +2 bonus to AC and all saving throws.
That's cool. That's good. That's
Yeah.
Actually,
great.
not bad.
It has. See what I mean? It's got like 2 good ones that are boring and 2. Well, let's see the last one.
And the arcane, I think that right now we're at 3 good ones because that it has 2 second level features.
That's
and
true.
Both of them, right now, 2 of its 3 features are good.
True.
That's true. Most
I-
wizards only get 2 ribbon or 1 ribbon and 1 real feature at 2nd level. This one gets 2 real features.
Yeah, I kind of
Yeah,
lumps the second level ones together in my brain.
It's at 2 out of 3 right now. That's not
At
bad.
14th level, your arcane deflection becomes infused with deadly magic. When you use your arcane deflection feature, you can cause magical energy to arc from you. Up to 3 creatures of your choice within 60 feet of you take force damage equal to half your wizard level. So this at 14th level is 7 damage for up to 3 creatures anytime you use the ability that causes you to have saving
Ugh.
throw or AC bonus. Which
Worthless.
is not good.
And also,
know.
and also the feature that prevents you from casting spells the next turn.
I think this is meant to
I-
make up slightly for the fact that you can't cast spells, but it
Yeah.
really doesn't.
They
It
sh-
just fails.
They should have eventually gotten rid of the no spells thing.
Yeah,
like-
that's
like
really
in a
what their
later
capstone
feature.
should have been.
I would have been actually a really good wizard then, because they would have had a flat +4 bonus to saving throws.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that means if they're not shielding ever,
True.
I mean, yeah,
Um,
you use your reaction.
You know what?
right?
That would have been kind of nice.
it would have been a fair
Would've
but
been-
good feat.
It would have been
I-
a decent wizard.
I think I agree because you have to use your reaction to gain the AC bonus or the saving throw bonus.
Oh,
and
I'm
it
not-
Yeah.
I'm not too unpleased with this on terms of power. I think this is definitely not a D tier. This is going to be at least C tier. Like,
you know, hold on, let me look. I agree.
I am in
maybe
agreement.
not
that it's-
more than C tier.
I am in agreement that it's not D tier, and I really don't remember the mages of Quandrix or Prismari, but I suspect that it doesn't quite hit there. But I could be wrong.
Well, unfortunately, you might have to look.
Or we could just say
because-
C.
Prismari
No, we can't-
Prismari was
we can't-
the
You're
dash
right.
disengage one.
Oh, that's better.
That is pretty darn good. Yeah. And could you tell me real quick what Quandrix did?
Quandrix.
It was a bard.
Yes,
could add
Quandrix was the
D6s.
small beans numbers. And then you
It
get
was a better bard.
Yeah.
Quandrix always got features though. Basically, it was the one that could teleport people 30 feet when they enter your range. So you can supplement or detriment someone's D20 rolls with D6s. You can make creatures. Immediately after dealing damage to a creature, you can force the creature to make a con save. On a failure, the creature has disadvantage on strength, dex saving throws. Weapon attacks deal only half damage. And then
And-
at 14th level, you
Yeah.
gain unconditional
barbarian.
resistance to bludgeoning, slashing, and piercing.
Okay. Well, this does feel pretty C tiery to me. Then.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I
I
would rather be
agree.
Quandrix. Okay.
Yeah.
Now there are a couple
Any
things we must
thoughts?
discuss.
Okay.
We could discuss order if we want to. I know that we did want to. We were considering revisiting Artificer, but honestly, it's probably fine where
We
it
already
no,
did.
I think we
I think
already
it's fine.
revisited it. Then the only thing to discuss is the name of the second highest tier. Does it remain there?
Well, the gray used to be Strixhaven tier. We have it. We have a different previous in our Warlock list. The gray one is called Lorehold tier, and it had Mage of Lorehold in it.
That's right.
So it kind of fits really well.
But it
And
only had
and people who
Lorehold.
watch our previous videos will be like, "Oh, it's the same tier."
It is.
It's continuity for those of you that continuously watch our streams.
And I do like continuity. Do you have a proposed better name?
I don't. And also the Lorehold tier being a joke because the Lore Master tier is above it is kind of good. So you
Yeah,
know
I
what?
was gonna
Maybe
say
it
if
should
we
just
change
stay.
Lorehold, if we change Lorehold tier, the Lore Master joke doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah. So this is good. All right.
All
Good.
right,
You
and the-
simply hold the lore? Nay, I but master it.
It's pretty great. Well, and on the orders, any last second
What?
adjustments you're making?
Is that coming from outside?
Yes,
Is Tyler sawing something?
I don't know.
I did hear that.
There are very strange sounds happening outside our house. I'm sorry. You asked if we're happy about this?
And mainly the last thing I was gonna ask is like order of like C tier ones. Does that what do you think?
I don't remember.
Because I remember I noticed you put Onomancy in front of things. Was that deliberately?
No.
Okay.
That's all I got
Alright
for you.
then.
No. I just put it up there.
I
All
don't
right.
remember Chrono G, and I don't know that I care to.
Fair enough.
Listen,
I think,
do you
oh,
do you
know
have
what,
a
actually, no,
thought?
I think it was on purpose. I think we came to the conclusion that Onomancy was better than Abjuration.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're fine. Well,
and,
then I'll ask the question: where does War Magic go on there?
Initiative is nice. Thick health is nice. I'd probably put it above. I'd put probably Abjuration at the bottom. I'd probably put War Mage second, and then Chronology, then Abjuration.
I'm
I think
okay with
that is.
that's fine.
That's delightful. Do you realize why?
Yes.
They're all in order now.
You better put Technomancy last there.
There you go.
Oh, thank you. I can't believe Technomancy's not F tier. I can't.
Because
I
they
know,
get one
well,
feature that's
redeemed.
good. That's like
Two
really
concentrations is really
I
nice.
can't believe it got
so
redeemed by the
good.
14th feature. I
Good.
can't believe
so
they
did
gave it that.
transmutation.
Yeah, I can't believe that they gave it that. Or
If
they
it
gave
wasn't for
something-
Technomancy, we would have had 7 in a
be-
row.
It would have been beautiful. It would have been beautiful.
How many of the?
wow.
Okay, where's the other base ones? We have Evocation.
Evocation's here, and then Abjuration's
That's
here.
it, isn't it?
That's
Yeah.
it.
Oh, and Conjuration's an
Oh,
F
and
tier.
Conjuration's down here.
Okay, but like, wow.
Yeah.
Only one base wizard made it
You
above
know what?
C tier. Everything else is.
Good job, Wizards. You balance the PHB very consistently.
Yeah, I think actually I think that is fair to say. The power level of wizard subclasses was like
If not
In-
fun,
in line with-
consistent.
there was
In line with how base wizard is so strong, their subclasses should be weak.
Yeah.
there's a big gap between evocation and everything else, and that's mostly because evocation gets magic missile cheese. I think without magic missile cheese, it might even be just a B tier class because of how late it gets over channel.
Yeah.
I think it might even be a C tier.
Yeah,
B or
which
C,
really
yep.
which really puts it in line with like honestly the wizard subclasses. This is why I always remember wizard subclasses as being kind of like whatever. Because
Yeah.
all of the base PHB ones are kind of whatever.
They really are. And then Bladesinger came along and then just fucking ruined everything.
Bladesinger came in and just slapped its huge dick down on the table.
By being official.
And
Lore Mastery
everybody
would
else
have
just
ruined things if they made it
trembled.
official, but it wasn't official.
And on the note of Bladesinger slapping its dick on the table,
Oh boy.
I think we're done.
That's what it
Alright,
sounds
we
like.
did it.
Okay, it's been a long month-long journey, but here we are.
All right, Wizards. We did the Wizards.
Some people might make this list in about 30 minutes. We might make it in 1 month.
This was a month of effort. I'll have you know.
Oh my god.
Order of Scribes still
Is that all the
scares me.
classes? No, there is one class that we have not done yet that we will do
Well-
next week.
There's 2
No.
classes left.
No, 2? What
We
bullshit?
haven't done Blood Hunter.
Blood Hunter isn't real. It can't hurt us.
Yes, we have to.
No.
We'll probably do it out of
No,
boredom, to
we
be
were
honest.
gonna do it. We were
Alright.
gonna do that at the same time as Artificer, weren't we?
Oh, was that the
'Cause
plan?
they were both of them together is like fucking 7 subclasses.
No, Artificer's 8 subclasses. I just looked.
What?
Yeah.
bonus.
You made
episode
this.
then.
You made the tier list.
It's been like a year ago. No,
Bananas. Although we might find out that a bunch of those are duplicates. We'll see.
Okay, wait. How many Blood Hunters are there? Aren't there only 3 or 4?
It's probably only 3. We probably could just tack it on. But to be fair, we did make that consideration about Abjuration and Blood Hunters back when we were doing 6-hour streams and not like 3 to 4 ones.
Okay, well, I don't know. We'll
To be
figure it
fair,
out.
I also don't really want to dedicate
Have
a
a th-
whole stream to Blood Hunter, so maybe we should just do it. We'll see how we feel at
No.
the end of Artificer.
No.
we
No,
could do
we're
a
not doing
secret
it.
bonus episode. that is and then we'll have a 3 subclass tier list.
Subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/literalsuit.
And it's like a fucking 1 kilobyte PHP, a 1 kilobyte like a PNG. Here's our tier list.
There you go. It's
one,
just
this
a,
one,
it's just a
this one.
text document that has all of our ratings on it. We didn't even bother making a list.
God.
After we do all the official classes and subclasses, will we continue doing this series by reviewing homebrews? Probably not.
know.
I think just because homebrew, like I think the fun of doing subclasses is a lot of it has to do with the fact that it's just like officially sanctioned Wizards bullshit. So like we can point at it and be like, this sucks ass. Why'd you print this? Right? Whereas with homebrew, it's just what people like put up there for like fun.
And how do we choose what to do? Because there are hundreds
There's
and
so many.
hundreds
Well,
of
We will-
subclasses.
We'll have a discussion about what to do.
Yeah, there are things we could do with homebrew, but it's worth.
We-
But nothing
we
set in
thought
stone.
about we thought about maybe ranking like magic items. I think it would be really hard to
Oh
make
my
rank
God.
magic items,
There's so many.
but it's
Oh God.
possible.
You have to rank them by rarity.
Do you realize
Yeah,
how
yeah,
fucking
no, it would be- it
slowly
would
we
be-
go with subclasses?
It would be by rarity.
Would you make me make a goddamn icon for each item?
No, I guess you're right. That'd be pretty cruel. Homebrew also doesn't really adhere to the same standards. Yes, that is also correct. Homebrew is like is because it's not officially sanctioned. It doesn't exist in the same kind of like realm in that it is like it makes it easy to like standardize rate it, right? That's why it works for official content.
There's homebrews out there that would be like 7 tiers above Lore Master.
Yeah. Although I don't think I've ever written a wizard subclass. I've only ever written one wizard subclass, or maybe 2, and none of them are as broken as Lore Mastery or Order of Scribes. So
I really like your wizard subclass.
yeah,
I want to play that sometime.
So I mean, I think we may find out what we want to do with the Sunday stream slot. Like we may just have like a week where we just talk about D&D. Oh, you know what? We wanted to talk about one D&D at some point,
True.
which would be fun.
I will
can
not be
even-
here.
Oh,
Next
week.
weekend.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll do it 2 weeks from now. We could even
Well,
make.
well, I will say, initially your plan was to do that stream with just Dan.
Oh, that's right. All right, Dan. Next week, let's do one D&D.
1 D&D.
That's the new D&D rule set that they put out.
Oh.
Yeah. So we can have a look through that. We could always rank like stuff like feats, about how good feats are. I think that might be a little complicated because of
Sharpshooter, Great Weapon, Master, Lucky. Elven Accuracy.
do they get their
Listen,
own tier or is it
we-
S tier?
Haha, yeah, that's true.
We have a plan, and it is Artificer, 1 D&D, and then improvise.
And then improvise. Yeah. I mean, we could make Dan design a subclass live.
What?
It would be like it would be like the Mike Merle's Happy Hour, except we're all likable people.
Wow.
I can't get banned from Twitch for saying that, can I?
I have no fucking clue. It's almost certain they're not.
I would totally design something though. I've already designed plenty in the past, so.
Oh yeah, me too. Could talk about like rangers and stuff. Design a Kraken Warlock. Oh, we should design tentacle classes for the rest of the game.
What if we just design like 8 more Kraken Warlocks? Yeah, thank you.
You're right.
And we're gonna like take everything we learned about balance here and ignore
Throw it
it.
out the window.
No.
Yeah, with here's Kraken Warlock, and here's Sky Kraken Warlock, and here's Fire Kraken Warlock. Beware the Fire Kraken.
I really do want to someday add your subclasses, Josh, to these tier lists at some point.
I mean, a lot of them
Or-
would rank pretty highly, I think.
I know, but the
Oh,
more
yeah.
exciting variants is the times when we can be like, "Yo, this shit's OP, but lore mastery's still
But
stronger."
lore mastery. No, like no joke, if we went to the ones that I've written right now and we looked at the wizard subclasses, none of them would really, I don't think any of them would even be like in lore hold tier. Like
No.
they'd be at S tier at highest and probably not even that
I
high.
don't think they wouldn't be S tier. Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway,
Wizard
but yeah.
subclasses are kind of janky.
Fair
But
enough.
it's also like wizards get so much to begin with. Like we've discussed a lot about how like wizards are like the one class where being alive is its own value.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
above
They're
any
just so
other
good.
class, just being alive is just so much value.
that
They
was
are the
bas-
best class.
That was basically all that Psionics has going for it, and I guess blade singing to some
Yeah.
extent as well. But blade singing
much.
has a bit more. But yeah,
Blade singing, yeah, but all of blade singing's utility is defensive, right?
no, yes.
Does it have a single offensive ability that is not swinging a sword, which we don't count?
Did it get to add its int to initiative?
No.
Then
don't think so.
no, it
Don't
didn't.
think so.
Then no, it did not.
Yeah,
You're
I
right.
think
It's all
I think it's
defensive.
purely defensive.
That's what I was telling you guys.
Yes.
Yes.
And?
I know. Okay.
We agreed with you. We were never in
How
disagreement.
dare you?
Alive more equals more BS. That is true. Yep. I think it may be a different story, for instance, if maybe a slightly different story if, like, for instance, wizards were like warlocks where they had very limited spell slots and like after a certain point like you just weren't that useful. But like, no, wizards just get the most bullshit and as much of the bullshit as they want. So yeah, I guess see you in 2 weeks for Artificer / maybe Blood Hunter. And then
And
next
1
week Dan will do 1 D&D with me.
Hey, oh.
It's been
Hell yeah.
1 D&D.
All right, good stream. Shut it down.
Yeah, we did it.
I gotta pee,
Bye-bye.
motherfucker.
Bye.
Oh, my.
Well, I'm
Can't
gonna
believe
keep
you.
I'm gonna keep the stream. They can still hear you. I'm keeping the stream
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
ending screen a little bit longer because if I cut it off too early, then
Then what?
the VOD doesn't save correctly.
Wow. I see. The truth is revealed, huh?
The truth come out. Does VOD save? All right. Good night. Good night. Good night.
All right.